Namaste and pranam to one all. Firstly, wishing you all a very happy Independence Day. So happy to have you all here today with us live. So,
Correct.
begin our session with a prayer by Ms. Vatsalya Trivedi. Over to Vatsalya. Over to Ms. Vatsalya. Okay. So let's start our session with a shloka. असधो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. So once again, namaste to everyone. So before I hand over this session to Ms. Priya, who is the moderator of this session, I would like to brief about what ALBE actually is. ALBE is Academy of Life Skills Based Education for Human Excellence. So what are life skills? Life skills are essential one which makes us to live happier, more successful and productive in life. Why it is important? It is important because adolescence has very high capabilities which strengthens the students to meet the needs and demands of the society. So imparting life skills based education will help youth to overcome difficulties in life. So in our ALBE Academy, we have four different types of courses. One for 9th standard students, the other one for 11th standard students, the other one for arts and science students, and the other one for engineering students. So all these four courses have different and varied syllabus. So with this well-packaged training course, students will bring out inner confidence, explore techniques of communication, being specific, feeling towards others, developing analytical and critical thinking, positive approach, and many more. So we students are really very happy to be a part of ALBE Academy. So without any further delay, I would like to hand over the session to Ms. Priya, who is the moderator of the session. So over to Ms. Priya.
Thank you, Prashanti. On behalf of the Management Committee, faculty, and students of Academy of Life Skills Based Education, I welcome you all for the Power Packed webinar series on self discovery. On this series, today we are focusing on the topic Tomorrow's Changemakers, the Power of Youth. Today, our chief guest, Dr. C. Vasuki, Secretary, Konganadu Arts and Science College. We welcome you, ma'am. I welcome Dr. Venkatraman, who is a retired group captain, Indian Air Force, for today's session, and he'll be with us very shortly. We also have two young achievers, Dr. Sangeeta and Srimati Raghavi, to connect the youth and their experience. Welcome, Dr. Sangeeta and Ms. Raghavi. I would like to request Ms. Nityashree to come online to welcome Ms. Anandi Jaigopal.
Greetings. An enthusiast of all things Indian, be it philosophy, medicine, practices, or thought process, Anandi Jayagopal is a final year BAMS student. Yoga was introduced in her life right from the age of 5 and Ayurveda as a medicine from 8 years of age. Firmly convinced in this ability of this combination to prevent and cure all human ailments, she will be walking you through the understanding of mind through the food we eat from an Ayurvedic perspective.
Ms. Anandi, we would like to hear a few words from you.
Well, namaste. Thank you for this opportunity. So basically, my topic is to talk to you about the significance of food. Now, food is also known as ahara, as all of you know. So all of us at some point of time would have heard the saying that you are what you eat. But I hope when you heard that saying, that you thought about it, that you actually put some thought into the process and try to think, how is it that what I eat, the substance that I put into my mouth goes through my digestive tract, becomes part of my body. Now, Ayurveda describes this in a very beautiful manner in this section that's called as Ahara Parinama. Ahara is food, and Parinama is nothing but the conversion or transformation process that happens. Now, how does it form the substance of the body? Right, this is the question. I'd like to take you through that particular Ahara Parinama concept. We have our body elements or the tissues of our body, which is called as dhatu. Now, dhatu, the word itself means that which can provide substratum for the body to function. Dharana dhatavaha. So, what are these seven dhatus? They're named as rasa, rakta, mamsa, medas, asti, majja, and shukra. These are the seven. And what do each of these do? Or what is it that each of these terms actually mean, right? So, how can you correlate to that? Rasa is nothing but the chyle that's formed, which is the first transformative product of your ahara parinama. From that, it moves into the next, which is called as Rakta. Rakta, as all of us know, is blood, the blood element. The third is Mamsa. Mamsa is your muscle, which is formed. From that, you have Medas. Medas is also known as your adipose tissues, all the fat content of your body. From that, you have the formation of Asti or the bone, and Majja, which is the sixth or the bone marrow, and finally Shukra. Now, Shukra is your reproductive fluid. So all these seven dhatus together is what results in your body forming, and all of the tissues are there. The tissues are what help in all of the processes and functions that the person wants to do in a day in their daily life. Now, if something has to convert from one form to another, we all know that outside whatever food that we're cooking it with a flame. The same kind of flame can be internalized in the body, and that is known as Agni. Now, the Agni, what does it do? It allows for each of these transformations to take place. So, from one dhatu to the next dhatu, or from ahara into these sapta dhatus, this transformation can take place. So, the Agni, how can you experience it? Obviously, as temperature or heat. So, you know that this exists within your body. And if there is an issue, say you have a fever which is excess of that temperature, and or if it's reduced, you have hypothermia, in these conditions, there are variations or fluctuations, and all of these get connected back towards the food that you're eating and its transformative processes. So, what significance I'd like to highlight that people already understood all these processes that were taking place, and the food that we eat on a daily basis, traditional cooked food that we eat, was based on all of these processes. So they had already understood what are the influences that our body has and what food affects it. So let's try to just go through what kind of things can affect your processing and the way in which you think, the way in which you work or function in your daily life, and how is food related to that. So when you eat, maybe let's take a different example. So let's take one of the actual recipes, say just biryani, and the basic substance of biryani is your rice itself. It also contains what it's made with a lot of ghee and a whole lot of spices. So the base substance has a lot of fat or nourishing content, and you require something to help processing that. What helps process that? All of those various spices. The spices weren't meant just for aroma; they weren't meant just for it to appeal to your nature and to want to eat the biryani, but for the fact that your body had to be able to process such a heavy meal. And similarly, if you take an entire leaf, your ela sapade, it contains all the tastes. We have six tastes called sad rasas. What are they? Madhura, sweet; amla, which is sour; lavana, which is salty; tikta, bitter; katu is spicy; and kashaya is astringent or flavorless taste, like bharatanda. Now, one ela sapadu would contain all of these elements. So, what does that mean? That you have a well balanced diet. It wasn't based on carbohydrate, protein, fat content, rather on making sure that all these six tastes were incorporated into your daily life in every meal. And with the seasons, with the different seasons, they had specific kinds of food which would be conducive for your body and that particular time. Like the use of panagam or neermor in summer time, or having heavier starch kind of food in the months of winter season. So the year was divided into 6 seasons. The food itself had 6 tastes, and an incorporation of mix and match, different proportion of these tastes in the particular season made sure that you were a healthy being at whatever point of time you were living in. Now let's take, what about the mind? Now all of us know that, I mean, current era, I'm happy to know that all my generation of people and the ones who are younger definitely consider the mind as a very important factor. We keep talking, I mean, currently the talk is about depression, grief, anxiety, anger, OCD and all such issues. And how can these be connected to your food? So say, let's take, a metaphor and an example for that. If you have a jyoti and if it has to glow, very well, you need to provide it with the fuel, which is ghee or oil, whichever you're using. But just because you want to make that flame extremely large or burn properly, if you pour the ghee on top of a burning flame itself, what does it do? It puts out the very same flame that you want to ignite. The same thing holds with your food as well. So if you're eating something and if you don't look at the quantity, the quality of food, the time at which you're eating, your mental health while you're eating that food, these are all factors that affect the way in which it's metabolized by the body. Let's again take an example. If you're very angry, you've just finished shouting at somebody at the top of your voice, you've exhausted all your energy. There's this saying, இல்லையா, வயிறு பத்தின்னு எரியறது. கோவமா இருக்கிற போது you say வயிறு பத்தின்னு எரியறது. So when the mind is in a particular state, you know that your body is affected in a particular way. Another example would be when you are in grief or shokam. When you're extremely sad, you say தொண்டை அடைச்சுன்னு இருக்கு. So there is a physical location for any emotion that you are experiencing in your own body. So the same way, the ahara, whatever food you ate, will also have a direct connection to the mind. You like something. Say you like gulab jamun or rasgulla. When you eat that, the kind of you connect it or equate it to the happiness that you derive from eating it. So the food process itself, whatever you're eating, you directly equate it to the amount of happiness you have. Which is why, if you look, you have so many restaurants. Food became such a huge thing because we decided we get pleasure out of eating food. But is that why we're actually eating? Isn't the actual purpose of food making sure that you are healthy for a longer period of time, eating in a correct manner, not having? Let's just take another. I would like to include the example of a barbecue. We're basically taking food, burning it to a crisp, and then eating that. What kind of nourishment is left in that food that you're going to eat and derive something from that? What are these dhatus going to derive from that particular completely burnt kind of food? So barbecues, if you see, are actual carcinogens in the sense that they promote cancer growing property in your body just because it's absolutely useless to have food which has no nutrition in it. So just because we like it, our taste buds are stimulated by that particular food, we end up taking it. But the process, if we give it a little thought and decide that it's actually meant for maintaining our health, we would be more conscious about what we're eating. So coming back to Ayurveda here, Ayurvedic perspective is such that prevention is the biggest aspect. We say swasthasya swastha samrakshanam. Swastha is a healthy state. Swastha is also a person who is already healthy. Swasthasya, that person's health. Swasthya meaning health of that person. Samrakshanam. Rakshanam is to protect. So protecting the healthy state of a healthy person is the first step of any Ayurvedic physician. And the concepts of Ayurveda are meant to target this thing, where you have everything given. There are so many chapters in different. We call our books as Samhitas, and just taking one called Ashtanga Hridayam, the initial 4-5 chapters, all of them deal only with food and the regimen that you have to follow to make sure that your body processes take place in a normal way. Maintenance of this heating element, the Agni in your body, which helps in these transformatory processes, is the first step in maintaining health of a person. So if you come to any Ayurvedic physician, a Vaidya, they would tell you that first change your diet, We will give you these things as pathyam. Make sure you're following it. Only then the medicine will work. Because the long time change that you can make in your own body to ensure that you remain in a healthy state is only through food because you eat it. Just think logically. If you keep eating one particular substance and you found out that it's affecting your way of functioning in so many manners, by changing the base itself, you're making sure that the rest of the processes that follow are all taking place properly. So this is the concept of Ayurveda that I'd like to share with you today. Swasthasya swasthya samrakshanam, making sure that you eat in the correct manner, the correct quantity, quality, at the correct time in the day, and having a peaceful, calm mind without focusing on too many other things like your TV, phone, remote, or something else when you're eating. Having a family and in your family to eat together, all of this promotes health, and we saw the evidence for all of that through all the points that I've told you today. So I'm happy to have been given this opportunity. This topic is actually very vast, and I've not even covered the fraction of a sand in this. So I hope all of you are intrigued at least by the fact that Ayurveda has such a vast knowledge about this particular subject, and to please contact me or any other Ayurvedic Vaidya to talk to you about it. Thank you so much. Hari Om.
Sure, Anandi. Thank you so much. Actually, that is a wonderful insight that you have given to all of us on importance of food. Thank you very much for that. Yep. Next, I would request Ms. Chinmayi to come online to welcome Dr. Sangeeta.
Namaste, everyone. Hello. Firstly, I would like to wish everybody a very happy Independence Day. So, yeah, it is a great honor for me to introduce and welcome Dr. V. Sangeeta ma'am for today's webinar. Dr. V. Sangeeta has completed her BE Electronics and Communications in Panimalur Engineering College, Chennai. She has completed her master's in CEG Anna University, Chennai. She is a PhD holder on design and performance enhancement of microstrip couplers for CEG from CEG Anna University. She worked as an assistant professor in St. Joseph Institute of Technology, Chennai, and is currently working as a consultant of Invicera India Private Limited. So when we talk about her achievements, it's going to mesmerize us even more. Dr. V. Sangeeta has 2 filed Indian patents. She has over 12 publications in international journals and has presented papers in various national and international conferences. She has been awarded the Anna Centenary Research Fellowship during her PhD course. Her areas of interest include microstrip components, antennas, RF, and microwave engineering. So by now, we are already inspired and stimulated by her extraordinary achievements at such an young age. We can distinctly witness her focus and passion towards her work. So, and now she's here to share her opinions and thoughts with us. Thank you for accepting our invite, ma'am. We are very happy to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your introduction. And I'm really so honored to be amidst such eminent people like Dr. Vasuki ma'am, Raghavi ma'am, Priya ma'am, and thank you so much for this opportunity. And a very good morning to all of you who've tuned in, and a very happy Independence Day. And yes, I must actually thank Anandi for this virtual food platform that she has given. In fact, only thing that's not possible in technology is we are not able to download food, but she has given us a virtual treat. So that's really very nice of her. So yes, my topic is going to be about focus. But before I get into the topic, let me talk on the broader perspective on the topic of the day, which is the power of youth. Right. So age is just a number. Age is just a number. At any age, if we actually desire, if we actually want, we can achieve. So many of them have proven that, and they have continued to prove that. However, they say strike the iron when it is hot. So that is youth. That is the young age when everything is at its best. It's at its best ever form. You have the highest energy at this age, and you have the best mind focus. Everything is at its best, and more than anything and everything, your health is at its best form. Your health will be able to stretch whatever your mind wants. So that is the best part of this particular youth, this particular young age. That's why the nation focuses on youth. The nation wants the youth to perform so that it will impact the nation and the world as a whole. So yes, correct, all these things are there. However, today, this present day youth, they are overloaded with distractions. Everywhere there is distraction. You open the television, there is distraction. The mobile phone, the laptop, everywhere there is distraction. So it is for them to choose whether they are going to just be passive, watch everybody and clap, or they are going to make people clap for them. So it's for them to decide if they're going to use their cognitive control, and they're going to make people observe them. Yes, this youth, you are guided by ALBE and all the wonderful people, so you're sure to go the right path. Now, what is the next challenge that could come your way? Well, it's the society, right? ஸோ உன் அக்கா எப்படி படிக்கிறா அதே மாதிரி நீ படிக்கணும். பக்கத்து வீட்டு பையனை பாரு, இந்த காலேஜ்ல இந்த கோர்ஸ் எடுத்து இந்த மார்க் எடுத்ததுனால ஹிஸ் கான் டு திஸ் ஆஃபீஸ், இந்த சேலரி வாங்கிட்டு இருக்கான். நீயும் அதே காலேஜ்ல அதே கோர்ஸ் அதே மாதிரி படிச்சேன்னா அதே மாதிரி சம்பளம் நீயும் வாங்கலாம். ஸோ கம்பேரிசன், that is the next challenge that could come. We cannot do anything about that, but what we can do is, let's not compare ourselves with anybody. Probably we can compare us with our own self. See to it that we are slightly better than what we were yesterday. Let's set our own standards and let's try to exceed those standards. That's something that we can do, and this is exactly what Dr. Abdul Kalam has said in his book The Wings of Fire. So he's told the youth to travel the unexplored path, to create their own path, a beautiful path of their own, to invent the uninvented, to go the invisible path and find new things, whatever new that they can find. So that's what is his message. So yes, normal people and super achievers, individuals. So what is the difference? As Robin Sharma says in his book 5 a.m. Club, he says that there are 5 assets of a super producer. First is the mental focus, right? The second is physical health. Our friend has beautifully explained about the importance of food and everything. So physical health is very important. And the third aspect is determination. And definitely, Raghavi ma'am, I must tell you, I appreciate your determination, Vasuki ma'am too. So yes, so determination is the next aspect. And the next point is our inner abilities, our own skill sets, our talent. And the fifth point is daily time for all the assets. So we need to keep updating. We need to keep evolving. Fine, I've studied, I've understood these concepts, with this I'm done. No, we need to keep updating ourselves. What has worked yesterday will not work today, and what works today need not work tomorrow. So every day we need to keep updating ourselves. That's really very important. And another important aspect for the youth is to not give up. Never give up. Just keep striving. One day you're sure to succeed. It's triumph. They say triumph loves the relentless. So if you are determined towards one thing, that too collectively, if the youth join towards a productive, progressive process, they are sure to achieve great heights. Jallikattu movement is an example. So if you are together and if you are determined to achieve something, you can surely go great heights. So there's no second thought about that. So fine. So this talk about the power of youth, I would like to conclude with a few statements by Abdul Kalam and Thiruvalluvar. So Abdul Kalam says that if you have a single-minded determination towards any particular goal, you're sure to achieve that goal. Okay, so this is exactly what Thiruvalluvar says in one of his Thirukural. He says, "Vinaythirpam enbadurvan manathirpam matravai ellam pira." So which means that if your mind is determined towards something, everything else will follow. So this is exactly what my topic of discussion is going to be. It's going to be about focus. Romba simple sollanona manam irundal margam undu. So that is what is our topic. So yes, this is my talk about the power of youth. I think we can move on to focus. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sangeeta ma'am, for giving us, such a wonderful insight on all of this. Actually, at this time, it actually recollects me of one of the saying was from that told, right? Difference between ordinary and extraordinary person lies in the degree of concentrate, right? Such a great words. And thank you so much once again, for giving us an insight on focus and determination. Can I have Ms. Nityashree to welcome Ms. Raghavi Sandal Kumar, please?
Greetings to one and all present here. I am disabled, but that doesn't disable my soul. Yes, this is her motto. It's indeed a great pleasure to welcome Mrs. Raghavi Sindhil Kumar, an HR consultant, trainer, educationist, motivational public speaker, who is also the founder of the Headway Foundation. The Headway Foundation is an organization which was established by her in 2016 with the motto of creating an inclusive India. The institute aims at building the capacity of differently abled persons and breaking the myths that surround the disability areas. She indeed prefers to remove the disc in their abilities. The Headway Foundation focuses upon the empowerment of livelihood of the differently abled persons, women empowerment, and also in implementing better health programs. Being an HR consultant and trainer, her achievements are inexplicable. We welcome you, ma'am.
Very good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
And after 73 years of independence, today we are celebrating 74th year of free nation, free India, and it's a privilege to address on this nation as a fellow citizen of India. And thanks Academy of Life Skills Based Education for having me here on this wonderful occasion. And I'm seeing a good teamwork here, all at one place. We're all scattered here and there, and this screen has put up all of us together. And kudos to technology this time. Yeah, so all these 4 seasons, we actually untapped all the nuances of technology, I would say. The entire nation did this, yeah. And today, all the students are making use of this technology, all the youth power, coming to the topic here. So the youth power is actually using this technology in the rightest way. And this is one such example, because I understand that this is run by a team of youngsters also, and this is the very first program run by the youngsters. And I'm so happy, I'm so proud that youngsters are doing such significant things in life, not wasting any time. And I think this is the entry point to any success in life, yeah. So and actually, thanks for making me youth here. I got to know, I got to understand from the talk that somebody made here, and thank you. I'm in the late 30s, but still I'm young. I understand I'm young through you. Thank you so much. And yes, youth. We all used to listen to this. The future of the nation lies in the hands of posterity. Yeah, lies in the hands of the youth, in the hands of youngsters. And I keep listening this, and many people also tell that yes, the quality of the youth determines the kind of future the nation will have. Therefore, if we want to ensure a bright future in our country, we first have to strengthen, empower our youth community. I firmly believe this, and in fact, my organization, I run the youth organization, and I proudly say that I have a bunch of youngsters with me who are just like you guys. They're all empowered, they're all full of vibrance, and they do a lot of things along with me. And I should also mention Miss Anandi, who of course explained the significance of food. I even didn't know, in my childhood days, like just like the age while I was like Anandi, I don't even know what food actually is good for health, or it causes cancer, or the differentiation between biryani and the LA sapad. So we've been brought up, that food is essential, and food is a basic commodity. We need to eat food because we need to survive. So that's how firstly I feel the people, the generation of mine, the people will agree with me. So I'm happy that youngsters are now empowering themselves on all the important nuances of life skills. I think in that way, you guys play an important role in every field. I could see that, and if you're determined to put in the best that you can do more, it will stop you from achieving success. The youth of any nation and the society are its potential experience. It would not be wrong to say that you guys are the powerhouse and storehouse of infinite energy and the pride of nation. I will talk to you about few people whom you already know, and practically these people were have become a long way in success of India. Yeah, Sachin Tendulkar. We are all very much passionate debate about his cricket and all that. Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev, Anju Chaudhary, Sunil Gavaskar, who else? Anil Kumble. So there are so many people I would say who has excelled in the sport or in any field that they are at the early.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. We couldn't hear you.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, now it is better.
Uh,
Thank you.
Sorry, the network was breaking. So the youth of a country actively participates and attains zenith, yeah, of success in the fields of sport, art, culture, academics, business, political domain. Also nowadays, youngsters are coming into the political domain. And as I mentioned, it is not just sport. Earlier, it was more where people actually, come up with a lot of enthusiasm to do sport. And today, it is not that. There are a lot of fields where people are youngsters are bringing about a lot of changes into the society's glory, the nation's glory as well. So the youth of a nation, let us consider our own youth, youngsters of India, is brimming with untapped potential, and that can be polished and utilized to bring in advancement in any space. So the only way that leads to enlightenment and youth is development of the nation in conjunction with the public. So I would now relate to the word of self-discovery that you have actually mentioned, Vasuki. Yeah, self-discovery is an amazing word, a lovely word. I in fact felt happy after seeing that thing to myself, because when you self introspect, yeah, do some self analysis, you will actually break all your myths, break all your stereotypes, and actually come out. And this age, the young age is a very crucial. There is no like you either fall this way or you fall that way or you sometimes don't realize it. You don't know who will actually be responsible for it. It is you, your peers, your background, your all the people who are surrounded with you. So that is why choose your the first 10 friends you choose, or the best 10 friends you choose, or the best 10 people whom you are surrounded with are what you are. Yeah. So those 10 people are very, very important, and that is how you make up yourself. And when we talk about, see, I'm connecting this with the nation's empowerment, the nation's pride, because it is an amazing way, and it directly correlates with the day. Yeah. So youth makes today's, with 65% of the population in India. This is quite significant. This is the point of a life of an individual where the determination of hard work, the possession of energy, the building up of capability, the potential, all these will actually form up not just the individual but also the society and the nation by and large. So there's no doubt that every young individual prefers to want a great career, and he or she is willing to contribute on his behalf towards the development of the nation. Youth can contribute in India's success and progress only if they are equipped with skills and knowledge. I think we've been talking about the skill development. Yeah, so that's very important. And if given opportunity, our youth are always ready to bang on to make most out of the opportunity and get give out their best. Yeah, do you all agree, guys? I think I'm addressing to the youth power here. So I'm sure youngsters today are in full form, full of vibrance, full of high energy. Youngsters are always made up of two things. One is sport, another is vibrance, another is energy, another is freshness, anger. Yeah, all these are traits of youngsters, and there is nothing wrong when you put all these adjectives together for a good cause, for a common cause, for building up yourself, grooming up yourself, for grooming up the people around you, and grooming up the nation as well. I think that is where you fall right. So let me conclude that youth is the basic driving force of the country country like India, around with around 60% of the population who are youth, I think am I audible again? I think I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Yeah. So the involvement of youth, towards the development process is of a great importance, and the point is that young people with so much of potential, when used constructively, they can lead our India in a path of continuous progress. And the youth are also expected to grow mentally and academically incomplete. Yeah, that is what I wanted to mention. To be complete Indian is to play an important role in the prosperity of the nation. We always say India is a developing nation. India is a developing nation who is developed. Yeah, and we always say USA has reached this point, China has reached this point, Japan has reached this point, and we always try to underestimate. India is still a developing nation, and who's to develop? It is we. It is us. Yeah, I think by culture, by tradition, by richness of resources, India is a very, very well developed nation as such. We don't know the value when you are inside India. All that we think is, as youngsters, we want to go abroad and study. We want to go abroad and earn. And we plan in such a way that we virtually meet our parents. We virtually make our wealth and prosperity grow, because we try to buy land from abroad. We try to construct a house from abroad. We try to get a vehicle to the parents from abroad. We do all these things virtually. And who is there in India? Who is the what do you say, the identity of an Indian is when you are inside. See, I don't say it is nothing wrong in going to abroad and doing all such stuff. Nothing wrong. But today is the day, is a century where you'll have to choose being inside India, make your nation grow, be global but go local. Yeah, make your products come into life. Invent lot of products inside India. Make them live. Make it materialize inside India. That is where your India becomes a developed nation. And you sit somewhere else and say India is still a developing nation. There's no point. So on this note, let me say this tagline for all youngsters here: think global but go local. Yeah, and India is where our dwelling place is, and let's make this India a beautiful India, a better India, an inclusive India. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Very true. And thank you so much for enlightening us with your wonderful words. And this actually also goes with another saying what Swamiji told, right? Everything is within you, and you can do anything and everything, right? So that's a very true statement. Thank you once again, ma'am. And so we have got many questions from our students, ma'am, and we would like to ask few of them, from the questions. And the first set of questions we would like to, ask Dr. Sangeeta, ma'am. And the first question is from Matul. Please go on.
Good morning, ma'am. I am Adil from Coimbatore. My
Yeah.
question is, focus is always associated with laser. It would be helpful if you could talk about getting laser-like focus, ma'am.
Sure. So actually, yes, you are very right. Focus is very much associated with laser. In fact, there's a saying that a successful warrior is an average man with laser-like focus. It's not that you have to be born with all the talent. No, not needed. If you have focus and determination, anybody with normal skill sets can make greatest achievements. So nothing is great. Nobody is born great. It's just what they do and how they achieve. So yes, laser, what makes laser so different from a normal light? Well, a normal light has waves. Okay, laser light also has waves, but the waves in a normal light are, each wave is of different wavelength, and they are not aligned. The waves will be oriented in different directions, and the waves are of different wavelength, right? But in laser, all the waves are of the same wavelength, and they are aligned and collimated. So everything is together, right? So see the difference. From a normal light, a normal light can just show you something, but a laser light can focus towards something. It can travel distance as far as the moon. It has been used to estimate the distance between earth and the moon. It can cut an object like diamond. It can be used to make the most intricate of surgeries. So that makes the difference. What makes the difference? The alignment. Okay, so we can compare the waves to our thoughts. So we have so many thoughts at this time. What are we going to eat next? What dress are we going to wear? Youth especially. So what is the program that's going on TV? What is my friend doing now? So many thoughts. What am I going to study for my assignment? How am I going to do that? What to do for my assessment? You have so many thoughts. Now if you're going to bring all your thoughts towards one particular area and focus on it, the result will be miraculous. You will be surprised to see the result. Just simple. There's no big rocket science. If there are 10 people, they're going to clap at different time. No big difference. But if they're going to clap together, the sound it would create, the distance it would reach, the impact it will create, it's enormous. So if all your thoughts, in fact our mind is capable of getting so many thoughts actually in a minute, but if everything is towards one particular area, if all your bandwidth is focused on one particular area, the outcome will be miraculous. So that's what is razor like focus. In fact, a funny thing, actually there are some great achievers who wear the same dress every day. Not literally they wash, but they have the same uniform. They don't think about what dress to wear. They have the same food routine every day, so that they don't think what to eat. So they don't want to spend their bandwidth on things like what to eat or what to wear. They want to focus it on a particular area. So that's what the focus, that's what laser is all about. So I think this would have answered your question.
Yes, definitely, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you, Arjun. Thank you, Sangeeta, ma'am. And we have the next question from Kirtana. Please go on, Kirtana. Kirtana, all right? Okay, um, looks like there is a technical glitch. I can ask this question on behalf of Kirtana, ma'am. So, ALBE is not just about enabling youth in excelling in academics. It is beyond that. It is about producing wonderful individuals who are great leaders and game changers. Can you talk about the kind of focus a leader must have? So, this question from Kirtana.
Sure. So for this, I would like to take reference of the book Focus. There's a book called Focus, and if you find time, I would request all of you to go ahead and read that. And the author Daniel Goleman. So he has, in his speech, he has mentioned that a leader must have three kinds of focus. So the first focus is towards his or her own self, towards his qualities, towards the qualities of that person, his skill sets, decision making abilities, and they say a gut feeling, the ability to collect all the thoughts and to make the best decision. So that's inner focus, focus towards the person's own self, so that the person is able to produce better results. Well, the second focus is to focus towards others. Well, an organization is full of people, full of employees. To focus on others. So this has three classifications. The first is to focus on their mind, to talk based on what they want. So these kind of leaders are actually good at reaching targets, at hitting targets. So they know what their customer demands, and they know how to talk and how to get things done for their business. However, the second classification is to understand their mind emotionally, to focus on them emotionally, to understand how they feel, whether they are feeling good. No, they are not feeling okay now. They're having some kind of an issue. To understand them, to empathize over them emotionally. And the third classification is to
Sorry to interrupt, Sangeeta, ma'am. We are unable to hear you. It looks like there is a technical glitch. Let's wait for 10 seconds for Sangeeta ma'am to return, else we will move on with the next question. Okay. So while we lost Sangeeta ma'am's line, so Raghavi ma'am, we have the next question that is shooted out to you if you could answer our question. So Dinakar has a question. So Dinakar, would you like to go on? So do we have Dinakar on the line?
No, Dinakar is not available.
Okay, not a problem. And I can raise the question on behalf of Dinakar ma'am. So we have a question on concentration, right? So concentration is something that our generation hinders upon. What would be your suggestions to stay concentrated during difficult times from your personal experiences? And welcome back, Sangeeta ma'am. So we have just got a question for Raghavi ma'am, and once it is done, we can continue with the next question. Yes, over to you, Raghavi ma'am.
Yeah. So, technology, when we appreciate technology, sometimes technology will throw us some glitches also, but that's okay. I think all understandable here. Um, Rightly said, concentration. I would like to, as you said, relate with my personal experience. Concentration is something directly connected with the focus, the determination, the commitment. A lot of adjectives around concentration. All these make up, the word called concentration, and it relates with the word called focus also, like what Ms. Sangita was talking. So, yeah. Uh, my personal experience, yes, I belong to a place where today it is a IT hub, but earlier it was a rural village. Yeah, and not much of development was there when I was doing my schooling, I was doing my college and all that. But yes, I happened to do my schooling in a good convent school, and my college in again another a good college where it was accessible and all that, because I was affected by polio when I was about 3 months old. So just imagine your the society perceive when a girl child is actually not able to mobilize, and that is not in this kind of a century. It was way back back. So that that moment was like very kind of they were restricting, not much of resources, too much of limitations all around. And when you have a challenge, and see, everybody will have to concentrate on, no matter what you are, in whichever field you are, in whichever position you are, in whichever role you play, as a daughter, as a father, as a son, as a mother, as a whatever role you are into, as a national leader, or as an educationist, or whatever role you are. Concentration is important, and it is easy to concentrate also. But when you are surrounded with distractions, surrounded with challenges, surrounded with a lot of struggles, how you concentrate is what is important, and that is where your success lies, and that is where you cross all hurdles and try to become a better person. And when that distractions and struggles and challenges all happen, and we try to lose our confidence. Why God is giving all the troubles to me only. I think this every youngster will say that கடவுள் எனக்கு மட்டும்தான் இந்த பிரச்சனையை கொடுக்குறான். As if the other person who is next to us doesn't have problems. It's not like this. Everybody will have problem. நாகேஷ் ஒரு படத்துல சொல்லியிருக்க மாதிரி ப்ராப்ளம் வந்து நம்ம இப்படி பாக்குறோமா இல்ல இப்படி பாக்குறோமான்றது தான் முக்கியம். So on that note, how you look at the challenges and struggles surrounded by you is what is the foundation for how you concentrate on it. Unless and until you make your goal setting, do some self introspection for you, you will not be able to concentrate. Okay, at that point in time when I was having a lot of challenges around me, the only thing that was sown in my heart, sown in my brain was education. So only when I have the right education, only when I am full of my capabilities and I'm able to build up my potential, I will be able to compete with the society's development and all that. Because competition is not less, whether it is belong to the 80s or belong to the 90s or you belong to this current trend. Competition is everywhere, like what you said. கல்யாணம் பண்ணிட்டு போயிட்டாங்க, அவ பாரு இது அப்ராட்ல போய் செட்டில் ஆயிட்டா. So this has been already there, real, as Sangeeta said. This was there, and this is still there, and this will be there tomorrow also. But when you have all these things surrounded by you, again, how to break all this and how to move forward, how to go in front of that. So that is how I was also been surrounded with the struggles and the challenges, like how you go the next step forward, what next. See, this point called what next is there in every person, and especially uh, in a differently abled person's life. Yeah, what next? So the fear of what next is always there. Okay, that is how I was also going through it. I was also leading my life also. So at that point in time, when education was the primary thing that was sown in my mind, I thought, yes, I will have to study. I will have to do all my regular duties, the responsibilities that I have. As a student, what do I possess? I have to be capable enough to, to face the society. So that is what was my concentration. Then after the schooling, the college, because I did my BTech, yeah, because being a differently abled person doing engineering, that too information technology, sir, computers and coupled with the electronics communication and all that, where the basic lathe workshop, the engineering drawing are all mandatory. So I had to break all the myths, all the stereotypes, and go ahead. Yeah. So I did my engineering. After doing my engineering, I did my MBA. So somewhere after engineering, I thought coding programming is not my cup of tea. I think I should go about with something else. My focus was, my concentration was on management. So management, yes, I'll have to become a good HR. So my passion was about being an HR. So yes, the next concentration was becoming an HR. Again, doing, I did my MBA. Again, a lot of challenges. Like that, you can relate many day-to-day life with those challenges. So after pursuing my MBA, I think the next challenge was getting into an organization, doing the job, becoming an employee. So again, my concentration was on that. So again, there were a lot of challenges. How do I actually mobilize from my home to the organization? How would I actually mobilize inside the organization? There were so many things. Again, my concentration was to be a good citizen. Then slowly after my corporate life and all that, the next concentration was becoming a wife or a mother. Yeah, our society will again give you, after certain age, kalyanalya. So again we were brought up with that kind of an society and all that. So again, my concentration again was to get married. Yeah, again, that also happened, and I gave birth to two boys. Yeah, and two boys both were cesarean. Yeah, and then again you can imagine the life of becoming pregnant, delivering babies, cesarean, that too. So again, there was a concentration. Yeah, so that concentration was about getting the babies delivered safely, securely, and upbringing them is another phase of my life. That is happening now already. So it's about 10 years now. My elder kid is. So again, so that is one part of my life. Another part of my life, concentrating on my career. Again, we try to battle between the career life and
Right.
the domestic life. Yeah, every woman has that. True, I'm missing something in my career life. I have to go back to my career. So I think this every woman will relate. Again, concentrating on my career, concentrating on my concentrating on the career. So I had to concentrate, and that was when. Am I audible again? I think there's something glitch that's showing me here. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're audible, ma'am.
All right. All right. I'm an educationalist and I'm a mentor, mentoring a lot of youngsters and corporate people, and I'm a public and motivational speaker, and I'm directly addressing a lot of students, in the colleges, and I'm doing faculty development programs for faculties. I'm a trainer. I'm holding honorary positions in some organizations. I'm also a POSH consultant, prevention of sexual harassment as a consultant and trainer. I'm a boxer trainer. So I hold, various facets, and that's how I built my profile. Not just sticking on to one part of my career. I started building my profile as a multifaceted profile. So all these I'm just shrinking the list down to something. Only when you concentrate on your goal. The first thing is make your goal
Sorry, ma'am, we could again see an issue with the line. Yeah. Sorry, we couldn't hear the last bit of it because we have faced some technical issue again.
Okay, I said the goal setting is very important, and this should happen at the early stage of life of any person, and that is where is the youth time, the adolescence, the teenage time, and all that. And I think if any youngster who is watching this and have not done the goal setting yet, do it right now. Yeah, right now.
Sure. Thank you so much for your
Sorry to
inspiring
interrupt.
answer. That inspired all of us indeed. Right. So we
Sorry to
have the
interrupt,
next
Priya.
question again to Sangeeta
Priya,
ma'am.
Priya,
Yes,
sorry
ma'am.
to interrupt. There are the students have some technical issues, so you can shoot the questions.
Okay, sure. Right. Thanks for informing. So, ma'am, the next question for Sangeeta ma'am. So, we have a question from Niveta. So, that is, can you talk about a few ways the youth can overcome the numerous distractions that they have at the moment? Ma'am, I think you're on mute. Sangeeta ma'am, sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, we
Okay.
can
So
hear
I
you.
just want to finish off the last part of it. I was telling about the focus of the three
Yes.
kind of focus that a leader has to have. The second focus is to empathize and understand the mind of others and act upon it. And the third kind of focus that the leader has to have is to unfocus, to go out, have a larger view, and come back. So, yes, to quickly finish off, the leader has to have three kinds of focus: the focus towards his inner self, the second one is focus towards others, the third is to unfocus. That's about it. And now to your question. So, how do the youth overcome the distractions? Well, actually, there is a particular saying by one of the Nobel Prize winner, Herbert Simon. He said that information consumes attention. So today, this particular world, it's overloaded with information. Everywhere there is information. So a wealth of information has led to a scarcity of attention. Attention, which is a precious gem, it's like very scarce these days. Well, actually, again, in the book Focus, there are actually two kinds of distractions. First is a sensory distraction. The second one is the emotional distraction. Sensory distractions, we can come out of it very quickly. When I'm talking, if there is something you're seeing there, that's a sensory distraction. So from that, you can easily come out. But the second distraction is emotional distraction. If you have had some fight with someone close, if you have seen a movie that has affected you very much, so that is an emotional distraction. Am I clear and audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Yeah. Can I continue? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am,
Okay. So
please.
that is the emotional distraction, and it's really difficult to overcome that. So let me tell you some simple ways, which again the book Focus they have mentioned. There is so just like how we go to gym to exercise our body, attention is a mental muscle that has to be exercised, right? So we need to focus on attention. There's a technique in mindfulness is a concept that has become very prevalent these days. That is to just close your eyes and to focus on your breath. Okay, so every time you get a diversion, when your thought goes somewhere away, bring it back to breath. Okay, so this is one exercise, and every time you do it, you're doing a repetition. So you do this for one day, and you continue doing it for days together and for months together. And you know what people feel at the beginning? the emotional content that they had, they had overcome that. They had overcome the emotional distraction. They were happier and they were able to focus better. So that is one small technique that they could follow. And another technique, I had said that there are 5 assets which a super producer should possess. Put those assets inside a bubble. Okay, put it inside a tight, it's a concept called tight bubble of total focus, which was again said by Robin Sharma. So he says that put all your important assets in a bubble. It's like a fence. Okay, so anything negative, anything toxic that comes, you're just telling it to stay away. Don't come inside it. I'm protecting my assets. And you're also protecting those assets, and you're keeping the membrane permeable so that you're carefully letting in only things that are needed for the development of those assets. Okay, so you put all your important assets inside a tight bubble, and every day keep some time wherein you are inside the bubble and you're focusing on your work. Keep yourself away from all kinds of distractions, any pop-up, any news, away from the gadgets. And as people, we need to take small stands, like social media detoxing. Daily an hour off from social media, probably the morning and that 1 hour before sleep. You'll be amazed to see the effect of the day and the effect of sleep that you have when you're detoxing from social media. That is important. And certain couples, they have taken some stance, like the moment they come home, they'll be off from social media and they'll be seeing their phones only an hour. So such kinds of positioning, if you think about it and if you carefully choose our distractions, we need to choose what we need and what we don't need. We need to have cognitive control over our distractions. So, and we need to know what is important and what is not. So I think if they do that, I'm sure the youth can achieve great heights. Yes, these are some small suggestions which I have read and that I could give.
Definitely, ma'am. These are very valuable suggestions too for all of us. Thank you so much. And we have the next question from Sri Lakshmi. And the question is, how important it is to periodically go out of focus? And that question is to you, Sangeeta ma'am.
So actually, as I had mentioned, it's one of the attribute of a leader. Okay, to go out of focus, to not always focus on one particular aspect. In fact, there have been companies which have, I don't want to mention the name, which have focused on their aspect. They've tried to better it, focused on it, tried to better. However, they forgot to see what is happening around. Their competitors, rather, they've seen what the world needs. They've gone out, they've unexplored, they've gone out of focus to see what the world needs, what the society demands, and they have given based on the needs of the society rather than fine tuning on one particular aspect. So it is often can be determined by us. It depends on our area to how often go out of focus and come back. But it is essential to have a broader picture view, to have a wider angle view, to get back to what is essential. So we need to filter out everything that is not essential and then come back to what is essential. In fact, there are companies, soft drink companies, which have come out with the idea of diet drinks, because they've seen that the society is interested in physical fitness. So they've come out with diet concepts. That's because they've gone out to see what the society needs, what the world demands, and that is important. And just like in our exercise, when we exercise, our muscles go to a state called fatigue. Similarly, we go to a state called mental fatigue if you constantly put your attention. So probably there is a rule which was been mentioned in a book called 60-10 rule. If for 60 minutes of full focus, you need 10 hours of full relaxation. Full relaxation in the sense, not social media, going for a walk, or listening to a good song that will energize you, listening to a motivational talk, or to somebody who is very close to you. Okay, having a conversation, healthy conversation with them, not chit chatting, a healthy conversation with that person. So these kinds of unfocusing and coming back is essential. It is essential to come back to focus in the fullest form. Right? So yes, that would be the answer. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And we have got the next question to Raghavi ma'am, and this is from Kritika. So the question is there any time that you felt that you were capable but not yet confident? How did you then overcome that? Would you want me to repeat the question, ma'am, to
Your
Raghavi
voice
ma'am?
got broke.
Okay. Am I audible now, ma'am? Is it audible?
So I'm not able to.
Okay. Ranjit, would you be able to pitch in? Looks like Raghavi ma'am is not able to hear us. Ma'am, are you able to hear us now?
Yes, yes, now.
Okay, yeah. So the question here is, Is there any time that you felt that you are capable but not yet confident, and how did you overcome that? So this is the question, ma'am.
Oh, I'm capable but not confident. Yes, right question, because we always possess a gut feeling. Every human being has this gut feeling that we are capable. We see babies, yeah, the first few years they will be in an extreme they will be in their extremism on all aspects, because they are not induced or influenced by anybody, because they can't be influenced. Yeah, any aspect you take, whether it is their anger, their happiness, their sorrow, or they facing something, they don't get fear factor also. If there's darkness in a room, and if you allow a small kid to go 1 year 2 year baby, it will go, because it is not being taught that irutna bayam அப்படின்னு we have never told the kid, or the kid also doesn't know that darkness is fear. Yeah. So at one stage in life, everybody will have this gut feeling that I am capable, I know what I am. I am full of energy, and I'm full of knowledge, and whatever limited knowledge for that the youngster's background, or the youngster's potential is. So to that amount of capability he or she has, he will feel empowered with that. He or she will feel empowered with that. But who will pull that confidence? Sometimes it is you, and sometimes it is the people around you. Okay, and it can be positively and it can be negatively also. You can't decide it when you are inside when you're surrounded by people. You cannot you cannot anticipate people to talk just like the way you think. You cannot anticipate people to behave with you just the way you want them to behaving with you. So everything is surrounded by you, and that is when the person will drop the confidence. Okay, ஓ நம்ம நல்லா தான் இருந்தோம், ஒருவேளை இப்படி ஆயிட்டோமோ, because this feeling will happen when மச்சான் நீ சரியாவே பண்ணலடா, இல்லடா நீ அங்க ஒழுங்கா பண்ணிருக்கா அப்படின்னு யாராவது ஒருத்தர் சொல்லட்டும், and this person will lose next step of confidence,
True.
he will come back. Yeah. So this is what I wanted to tell you. So you will be surrounded with a lot of spaces, a lot of accidents, a lot of experiences, a lot of people. So it will sometimes it will make you a positive influence to you, sometimes a negative also. So what you are capable of, அப்படின்றது, it is, I think it is within you only, and even if anybody tries to pull you, you should not pull. At the same time, when
Definitely.
somebody tells a constructive note to you, yeah, a constructive kind of advice to you, a piece of advice or a suggestion or opinion, you have to take it also. When I talk about that extreme, I will talk about this extreme also. Take feedback, take all the constructive feedback that is coming to you. Only then you will again climb up the next step of your ladder, or else you will again stagnate in that same place. So when people say I am not confident, you first analyze, are you confident or not? Okay. And capability has nothing to do with the confidence. Capability is one part of resource for you, and confidence is another part of resource for you. Everything is there in your segmented in your brain as such. Don't relate confidence and capability at all, because every child is born capable, and I am talking about the intellectually disabled child also. Yeah, any child is having capability, no matter you're a normal child or a child with any disability also. I'm talking about disability because I deal with a lot of people with disabilities. So everybody are born capable, are made up of capability, but it is only the confidence that will drive you to the next stages in life and make your capability a little more higher at every point in life, at every phase of life.
Understood, ma'am. Thank you so much for your wonderful answer. And these are all the different questions. And ma'am, I know that you have some urgent requirement to travel, right, ma'am? So I have been informed. Thank you very much for accepting our invite.
Another two commitments today, actually. So I'm just, bidding adieu here at this point in time. Though I'm not able to listen to Dr. Vasuki Madam, but I will do that offline. When I get time, through the link that will be in the live streaming that is happening. And Madam, nice meeting you virtually here. I will definitely connect with you sometime later. Thank you so much, and lovely listening to Miss Sangeeta also. Thank you for sharing the dais. I wouldn't say dais. I would be telling you the sharing of screen, virtual screen here with guests like you all. And thank you, Academy of
Thank you so much.
Education.
Pleasure, pleasure.
Thank you so much.
It was very nice listening to you, Mrs. Raghavi. You're really an inspiration. Like you gave a real life experiences and the challenging moments. First, as a woman itself is very difficult. And today, when I say empowered women, I can see all of them here. You are all great, I would say. And I think India in your hands will be very safe. And like I'm sure we are going to achieve what we want to. Thank you. Very nice to meet you through the webinar, and I would love to have you sometimes to inspire our students.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Raghavi ma'am. It was great.
Thank you, Ms. Priya.
Thank
Wonderful
you.
Great.
moderating. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. My pleasure. Yeah. So can I have Srivarsha to welcome Dr. Vasuki ma'am?
Greetings, everyone. A very happy Independence Day to all of you here. I'm Srivarsha, and I'm privileged to be introducing our honorable chief guest for today's webinar, Dr. C.A. Vasuki. Words fall short to describe you, ma'am, for your endeavors and contributions you have made in the field of education. Dr. C.A. Vasuki is a university gold medalist and holds a master's degree in life sciences. She was one of the few chosen by the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, for a research project at the Beltsville Agricultural Research Center, USA. She has propelled her College of Congonado Arts and Sciences to that level to reach the skies and received several prestigious awards and recognitions from various governing bodies, including UGC, NAAC, and MHRD. She's a recognized and an active social worker coordinating various social and community related voluntary activities in coordination with various trusts. And she has expertise in molding hundreds of students and shaping their bright future. And that is not an easy task, but ma'am, you have done a great job. You will always remain an inspiration to your students and us too. Your motto really made me like happy and made me believe in a very happy world, because your motto is harnessing the resources of talented personnel and recognizing their performance. That is true, ma'am, because that is when we discover ourselves, and I guess your motto is rightly suitable to today's theme of our webinar. Thank you very much, ma'am, for giving us your valuable time and agreeing to join us today on this August gathering. It's a pleasure to host you here. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Srivarsha.
Yeah. Ma'am, we would like to hear a few words from you, ma'am.
Of course. Thank you. And I wish everybody who was joined today a wonderful, happy Independence Day. This is 74 years. It's a great time when you look back what we have gone through and what our nation has gone through, what this Bharat has gone through. So with that, I am very pleased to participate. I had, after listening to Sangeeta as well as our Raghavi, who was with us, I was really taken back to see the young, dynamic uh, ladies who are really empowered with lot of self-confidence. You are all really a role model. I think Sesha Purnima madam has selected the right person, no doubt, to inspire the young minds who are from this ALBE Academy. And I know this academy is run by Thiru N. Gopalaswamy of TCS, and also Dr. C. Velan, who was also a government, um, who served in our government. I'm very happy such people have had such academy. And initially, the person who gave a talk about Ananti Jayagopalan, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Yes,
That was
Anand
wonderful.
Jacob.
I'm sure she's a student from your academy. Is she? Yeah,
Yes, she is still a
like
student. Yeah. Yes.
I can see what this academy is shaping people into. Really wonderful. What would I say? When I heard such words, I think she took us back for the days of Vedas when she spoke about and gave us food for thought, to be true. As That was really a wonderful explanation how the food affects our not only our it's not only for our physical needs but for our mental needs. This is something to hear from such a young girl. I really was taken back. And thank you to the young Anandi who gave us and inspired us. And also Sangeeta, you are somebody, I tell you, a very young girl, but the your answer to all these questions what they asked, I was taken back. You were speaking like about you have as though you have 30 to 40 years experience in that field. So it shows your commitment to whatever you're doing. And but I think I heard like you have got two of your products have been patented. That's wonderful, Sangeeta. This is what we need.
We've
Where we
applied
lack.
for patent, ma'am.
Okay. But what we lack, the confidence in you. This is what we need from our young minds. So your ALBE Foundation, the main motto is to hone the skills of the youth. That is your thinking skill, the emotional skill, and the social skill. So I think you're going in the right path as per our new education policy. In fact, I was asked a couple of days to talk about our new education policy, and I was very happy that your academy is going in the right direction of honing the skills of the youth of this country. That's what our new education policy wants, to give the individual identity, not necessarily a child should who gets the top mark in a class or in an exam doesn't mean they lack something. It is actually probably the system has not identified that skill. The system is not sufficient enough to identify the skill in that person. Don't call anybody a failure. Maybe the system's failure to identify the strength of the child. That's what I always tell my young students who come here. I tell them, don't worry. This mark is not something going to give you. It's not a brand that is put on you. It is actually this is a requirement, and it doesn't mean you get a first mark you are the smartest. It doesn't mean you're average person, you're or the poor performer. This is the examination system what we had for ages, and that examination system was there only to produce people to work for, not to think, not to individually to build up their thinking skills or their individuality. It was there to produce only slaves to work for the uh, for uh, for somebody, to be true. It is not to build this great product. But today our national education policy what has come out has brought out every from it has taken care from the pre-kg up to phd in all the education sectors. This is for because all school children are listening. I wanted to tell you, you are there to face the beautiful challenge. And this is something I would say, we cannot be afraid of a change. See, a change is coming after 34 years, if I'm correct. And this change we should all welcome, because it is not a change that is brought about by 10 people sitting there. They did a democratic way, or mm, in a democratic way they did it, and they have brought about this beautiful national education policy for a self what you are talking about, self reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Our prime minister is talking about India has to be self reliant. And also we need um, to be self reliant. We need to first self discover ourselves, and today that is what your topic is about webinar series is about self-discovery. And unless you discover yourself and discover our country, our nation, the pride, what our country holds, we cannot be self-reliant, right? We need confident, young, energized youth like Sangeeta and Raghavi, who are like real role models, I will say, because I am very happy to be associated and to come to know such people are there in my great Bharat. And I know you girls will bring up this country into a glorious nation, and what we all dream, and what the entire world dreams, and what the entire world is looking on upon us. You know, we need upskilling, and that will be done by our new education system, where they have found out where are the gaps. Unless our children are given the confidence about our great nation, our history, not that history what I learned, really, the history what I learned gave me only did not build my self confidence. I felt very ashamed. Oh, was I ruled? Was my country ruled? Was my country defeated this many times by so many people? And my culture was all ruined. My beautiful temples, our way of living, everything was destroyed. That was not what, is going to be taught for through our new education policy. All that is going to change. In fact, ஆல்வேஸ் ஐ வுட் சே, தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும்னா நமக்கு ஒரு தாழ்வு மனப்பான்மை வந்துச்சு எனக்கெல்லாம். ஓ, நம்மள பாபர் ஆண்டான், அக்பர் ஆண்டாங்க, நம்ம அதே மாதிரி வெள்ளக்காரன் வந்தான், வெள்ளக்கார துரை வந்தாரு, துரை வந்து நம்மள ஆண்டாங்க. அப்போ நமக்கு என்ன ஆகும்? நம்மெல்லாம் அவ்வளவு ஒரு கோழைகளா இருந்துட்டோமா? எஸ்ஆர் போடுற ஒரு இதை விட்டுட்டு ஐ வில் டெல் வாட் யூ ஹேவ் டு டூங்கிற அந்த கான்பிடன்ஸை பில்ட் பண்றது நம்ம யங் ஜெனரேஷன் அண்ட் திஸ் நியூ எஜுகேஷன் பாலிசி. அண்ட் நம்ம எல்லாம் கிணத்து தவளையா இருந்தவங்கள இன்னைக்கு வந்து அது முக்கியமா தமிழ்நாட்டுல ரெண்டு மொழி தமிழ்நாட்டுல வந்து தாய்மொழியே தெரியாம இருக்கிறாங்க. தமிழர்களா பிறந்திருக்கிறாங்க, தமிழர்களா வாழ்றாங்க, ஆனா தாய்மொழியே தெரியல. தாய்மொழி தான் நம்மளோட ஆழமான அந்த ரூட்னு சொல்றமே, ஒரு மரத்துக்கு அந்த வேர், ஆணி வேர். நம்ம கல்ச்சரையும் நம்மளையும் ரீடிஸ்கவர் பண்றது வந்து இட் இஸ் ஒன்லி யோர் மதர் டங். இன்னைக்கு அந்த மதர் டங் எஜுகேஷனை ஃபர்ஸ்ட் 5 years they have brought it, and apart from that, from 6th standard to 9th standard, you're going to discover our beautiful country. I will tell you my experience, what I lacked and what was the lacunae I had in my education system was, எனக்கு வந்து என் நாட்டை பத்தி எனக்கு தெரியாது. உண்மையா நான் படிச்சது நைல் நதிக்கரையும் தேம்ஸ் நதிக்கரையில் இருக்கிற ஒரு நாகரிகத்தை பத்தியும், விக்டோரியா மகாராணி எப்படி அங்க வந்து and what you call that revolution, the industrial revolution came. So I hated history. I don't want to learn about somebody. I never learned about our great cholas. Did I learn about my chola? No, I only rediscovered now my great country. So that situation will not be there in our new education policy. You will know about our great leaders, our vedas. இன்னைக்கு நம்ம பொண்ணு அழகா பேசினாங்களே, அந்த ஆனந்தி வந்து she spoke about the way of life and about food, about our culture. இதெல்லாம் வந்து எங்கிருந்து வந்தது? வேத காலங்கள்ல thousands of years it has been in this nation, இல்லையா? அது வந்து யூ கால் தட் தாத்து அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. 7 தாத்துக்கள் இருக்கிறது. அந்த 7 தாத்து வந்து எப்படி இட் இஸ் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் டு பிரிங் அபவுட் த பெஸ்ட் இன் அ ஹியூமன் பீயிங். ஸோ ஆல் அவர் வேஸ் ஆஃப் லைஃப், அவர் பியூட்டிஃபுல் குருகுலா சிஸ்டம், அது வந்து யாரு அதை மறுக்க முடியும்? அந்த குருகுலா சிஸ்டத்துல எப்படி ஈச் இண்டிவிஜுவல் ஸ்கில்ஸ் வேர் ஐடென்டிஃபைட் அண்ட் brought அவுட், அதையும் அது வந்து சொன்னாங்க, இல்லையா? இதெல்லாம் வந்து நம்ம இன்றைய தலைமுறைக்கு நாம மிகவும் வரவேற்க வேண்டிய ஒண்ணுது நம்ம நேஷனல் எஜுகேஷன் பாலிசி. அந்த தாய்மொழி கல்வி, அதே மாதிரி அடுத்தது வந்து நம்ம இந்தியாவை பத்தி நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுக்க வேண்டிய அந்த கல்ச்சுரல் எஜுகேஷன். நம்ம ரூட்ஸ் ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருந்தா தான் we can fly and we will come back to our roots, இல்லையா? if our roots are not strong, when you fly you will think that is அதுதான் சொர்க்கம் நினைப்போம். உண்மையான சொர்க்கம் எங்க இருக்குது? நம்ம தாய்நாட்டுலதான் இருக்குது. இதுதான் உண்மையான ஒரு சொர்க்க பூமி. இந்த சொர்க்க பூமியை வந்து நாம திருப்பி நாம கண்டுபிடிக்கிறதுக்கு நம்ம நியூ எஜுகேஷன் பாலிசி ஹஸ் கம் அவுட். ஸோ இன்னைக்கு வந்து உங்களுக்கு வந்து இதெல்லாம் நான் ஏன்னா ஒரு எஜுகேஷனிஸ்டா உங்ககிட்ட பேசல, ஃபியூச்சர் ஜெனரேஷன் பேசல. ஐ ஃபெல்ட் ஐ ஷுட் ஸ்பீக் அபவுட் தட். அண்ட் தி அதர் பாயிண்ட், இன்னைக்கு நம்ம சுதந்திர தினம் இல்லையா? இந்த சுதந்திர தினத்தை பத்தி ஒரு 2 வார்த்தை சொல்லணும் நம்ம ஐயா. நான் எப்பவுமே சொல்லுவேன், ஒரு குழந்தைகளுக்கு ஒரு தன்னம்பிக்கை வளரணும்னா நம்ம தேசப்பற்று வேணும். எனக்கு என்ன பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் எனக்கு தேசப்பற்று அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து இட்ஸ் பி லைக் இட் வாஸ் டாட் ஃப்ரம் அ வெரி யங் ஏஜ் பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் மை ஃபாதர். He was an ardent follower of சுவாமி விவேகானந்தா. சுவாமி விவேகானந்தர் எனக்கு சின்ன வயசுல அந்த புக்கு கொடுத்து அது என்னைக்குமே மறக்க முடியாத ஒரு இஸ் மெசேஜ், விவேகானந்தாஸ் மெசேஜ் டு தி யூத்னு ஒரு புக் கொடுத்தாங்க. அந்த புக்கு மூலம் எனக்கு வந்து ஒரு என்ன சொல்ற, தேசப்பற்றுன்னு சொல்றது தேச வெறியே வந்துருச்சு எனக்கு. அதுக்கு பின்னால நான் வெளிநாடெல்லாம் சென்றாலும் கூட 1985 நான் ஐ வெண்ட் அப்ராட், ஸ்டேட் 30 years there. பட் இருந்தாலும் என்னை வந்து அது இந்தியன்கிற அந்த பெருமையை விட எனக்கு அந்த கர்வம் இருந்தது. நான் ஒரு இந்தியன், நான் பெருமை மிக்க ஒரு இந்தியன்கிற அந்த கர்வத்தை எனக்குள்ள உண்டு பண்ணது சுவாமி விவேகானந்தர். அந்த சுவாமி விவேகானந்தரோட அந்த சொல்லி கொடுத்த அந்த கர்வம் என்னால என்னோட இந்தியன் பாஸ்போர்ட்டையும் கூட சரண்டர் பண்ண முடியல. நான் சொன்னேன், வேண்டாம் வேண்டாம், நான் எதுக்கு. எல்லாரும் அப்ப வந்து இந்தியா உங்களுக்கு 1980கள்ல இன்னைக்கு வந்து இந்த முன்னோடியான ஒரு இந்தியாவா நீங்க இல்ல. இன்னைக்கு நமக்கு வந்து நம்ம சிறந்த ஒரு பிரதமர் இருக்கிறாரு, நம்மள தகுந்த வழியில நடை வழி நடத்தி செல்கிறார். அப்படி இருக்கிற ஒரு பிரதமர் எங்களுக்கு இல்ல, உண்மையாவே சொல்ல போனா. அப்ப வந்து இந்தியா வந்து ஒன்னொன்னையும் நம்ம வந்து அந்த மேலை நாடுகளை பார்த்து அந்த நாகரீகத்தை பார்த்து ஏங்குற ஒரு இந்தியாவுல இருந்தோம். அப்படி இருக்கையில நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அங்க போய் இங்கிலாந்துல இறங்கினப்போ பிபிசி நியூஸ் வரும். என்ன நியூஸ் கேட்டேன் தெரியுங்களா? யூ வில் பி ரியலி சர்ப்ரைஸ், லைக் sad. Imagine in that situation how you will feel. The Air India flight is coming, landing in Heathrow Airport, right? It is filled with gold. To எதுக்கு? நம்ம உலக வங்கி கடனை அடைக்கிறதுக்கு. எவ்வளவு ஒரு கடங்கார நாட்டுல இருந்து நான் வந்து எனக்கு அந்த இடத்துல எவ்வளவு ஒரு கூனி குறுகி போவோமா மாட்டோமா இல்லையா? நம்ம இந்தியா விட்டு நீங்க வெளியில போனீங்கன்னா தான் உண்மையாவே உங்களுக்கு அந்த ஃபீலிங் தெரியும். என் தாய் நாட்டை யாராவது ஏதாவது ஒரு தப்பு சொல்லிட்டாங்கன்னா, ஓ இந்தியன்ஸா அப்படின்னு ஏதோ ஒண்ணு சொன்னாங்கன்னா அது ரொம்ப கோபம் ரோஷம் பொத்துக்கிட்டு வந்துடும். இந்தியாவுக்கே நம்ம அங்க போய் பேசுவோம், புரிஞ்சுதா? அது வந்து நீங்க வெளியில போய் இருந்தா தான் அதோட அனுபவம் தெரியும். ஆனா இன்னைக்கு நான் உண்மையா சொல்றேன், இந்த ஒரு 5 வருஷமா நான் பெருமையா தான் தலை நிமிர்ந்துதான் நடக்கிறேன். என்னோட இந்தியா டுடே மை பாரத். ஏன்னா உண்மையாவே இன்னைக்கு சொல்ல போனா நாசாவாகட்டும், நேஷனல் ஹெல்த் லைக் வாட் யூ கால் த சயின்டிஸ்ட் அண்ட் ஆல்சோ தி டெக்னாலஜிஸ்ட், லைக் நம்ம சங்கீதா இவங்க எல்லாம் பேசினாங்களே, சாஃப்ட்வேர் டெக்னாலஜிஸ்ட், ஐடி பீப்புள். இன்னைக்கு அவங்க எல்லாம் நம்ம இந்தியாவை பார்த்தா, ஓ இவங்க தேர் த ரியல் பிரெயின் ஆஃப் த வேர்ல்ட். நம்ம மூளை உள்ள ஒரு மூளைதான் நமக்கு பெரிய ஒரு சொத்துனா நம்மளோட சிந்திக்கும் திறன், அறிவாற்றல். இதுதான் நம்ம திறன்னு கொண்டு வந்து நிறுத்தினது உண்மையாவே பெருமை மிக்க நம்ம இளைஞர்கள் தான். இன்னைக்கு எத்தனை ஒரு கஷ்டமான ஒரு நிலைமையில் இருந்தாலும் நம்ம அந்த கஷ்டத்தையும் we broke through all the shackles in our life இல்லையா? எல்லா விலங்குகளையும் உடைத்தெறிந்து நாம இன்னைக்கு இந்தியா வந்து என்ன உயர்ந்த நிலையில் இருக்கிறது, அதுக்கு நம்ம இளைஞர்கள் தான் உண்மையான காரணம். அன்னைக்கு இருந்த அந்த தாழ்வு மனப்பான்மை, 1980கள்ல எனக்கு இருந்த தாழ்வு மனப்பான்மை இன்னைக்கு என்கிட்ட கண்டிப்பா கிடையவே கிடையாது. நான் பெருமை மிக்க ஒரு பாரத தேசத்தின் ஒரு குடிமகன் என்று ரொம்ப உறக்க சொல்வேன் என்று நான் சொல்றேன். அந்த உறக்கத்தான் சொல்லணும். இது நான் பெற்ற ஒரு இது. உங்ககிட்ட இன்னொன்னு, இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ் டே அன்னைக்கு இந்த கொடியோட ஏன்னா இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ் ஸ்மால் மெசேஜ் கொடுத்தா தேசம் எப்படி நம்ம வந்து இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ் அடைஞ்சது அப்படிங்கிறது உங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் நிறைய படிச்சிருப்பீங்க. நிறைய பேர் சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க உங்களுக்கு வந்து தேசத்துக்காக பாடுபட்டாங்க, எப்படி பாடுபட்டாங்க, அகிம்சை பாடுபட்டாங்க. அது வந்து நானும் அதை தான் தீவிரமா நம்பினேன் ஆளு. ஏன்னா அகிம்சையில வந்து போராடினது இருந்தாலும் ஆயிரக்கணக்கான பேர் இந்த நாட்டுக்காக உயிரை கொடுத்தவர்களும் இருக்கிறார்கள். அவர்கள் நாம் மறக்க முடியுமா? மறக்கவே முடியாது. நான் இருந்து வந்த ஒரு பெரிய வீரரை என்னைக்கு மறக்க மாட்டோம், கொடியாத்த குமரன். கோவை திருப்பூர்ல இருந்து கொடியாத்த குமரன் அந்த எத்தனை அடிபட்டாலும் உயிரே போனாலும் அந்த கொடியை கீழே வைக்க மாட்டேன். நம்ம தேசிய கொடிய அப்படின்னு ஒரு வீரமா இருந்து தன் உயிர் போயும் அந்த கொடியை உயர்த்தி பிடித்து ஜெய்ஹிந்த் என்ற முழக்கமிட்டு உயிர் பெற்றவர் இல்லையா? இருந்து வந்த கோவையை சேர்ந்த அது மட்டும் இல்ல, இந்த வீரன் சின்னமலைன்னு நீங்க கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க. வந்து வெள்ளையனை அவன் பெரிய சேர சோழ பாண்டியன் மாதிரி பெரிய ராஜாங்கம் வைக்கல. இந்த கொங்கு நாட்டுல வந்து ஒரு குறுநில மன்னன், பாளையக்காரன். அவன் வந்து ஒரு 10 பாலை வைத்து ஆண்டு கொண்டிருந்தான். இந்த அவனதான் சொன்னான், வெள்ளையன் சென்னிமலைக்கும் தீரன் சின்னமலை இருக்கும் வரை யாரும் வர முடியாதுன்னு ஒரு பயங்கர வீர முழக்கம் விட்டான். அந்த வெள்ளையன் இல்லையா? அது மட்டும் இல்ல, வீதியே இன்னைக்கு நம்ம சொல்றோம்ல, பி வோக்கல் அப்படின்னு அவங்க சொன்னாங்க. அந்த மாதிரி நம்ம அந்த கதர் ஆடை அணியின துணியை அணியக்கூடாது, நம்ம கதர் ஆடையைத்தான் அணிய வேண்டும் என்று வீடு வீடா சென்று கதர் ஆடையை வித்த ஐயாமுத்துன்னு ஒருத்தர் இருந்தாரு. அவரும் எங்க கொங்கு நாட்டு பகுதியில் வந்தவர். பாடல்கள் பாரதியார் யங் பீப்புள் தெரியுமோ தெரியலையோ, பாடல்கள் பெருமை போராட்டத்துல அவங்க ஒரு வீராங்கனைன்னு சொல்லலாம். தைரியமா எல்லா மேடையிலையும் சுதந்திர வேள்வியை எழுப்ப இளைஞர்கள் மத்தியில் பாடிய. அதே போல நம்ம இதே கோவை பகுதியில எங்கேயும் தூத்துக்குடியில பிறந்து அவர் ரத்தம் வேர்வையும் சிந்தி இந்த தமிழ்நாட்டுல வந்த அந்த சிறையில, நம்ம கோவை சிறையில வந்து செக்குல எல்லாம் தெரியும் யாரு அவர், பெரிய ஒரு மேதாவி, ஒரு வக்கீல் இல்லையா? வக்கீல் தொழில் பண்ணி பழைச்சிருக்கலாம், கப்பலோட்டி பழைச்சிருக்கலாம். நம்ம கப்பலோட்டிய சிதம்பரனார் எங்கிருந்து வந்தாரு? நம்ம கோவையிலிருந்து, கோவையில வந்து செக்கிழுத்து தன் உதிரத்தை உதிர்த்த இந்த கோவைக்கு எவ்வளவோ பெருமை இருக்கிறது. குழந்தைகளாகிய நீங்கள் இந்த ஆல்பி அகாடமியை சேர்ந்தவங்க நீங்க எல்லாம் you are very young, inspiring children. I could see that. நீங்க ஒவ்வொரு one only I could see I showed an inspiration. மறக்க முடியாது. அதே மாதிரி அந்தமான் நிக்கோபார் தீவுல வந்து ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டு ஆயிரக்கணக்கான பேர் உயிர் நீத்திருக்கிறாங்க. அதுல முக்கியமா அவரை பத்தி எத்தனை பேருக்கு மறைக்கப்பட்ட ஒரு சுதந்திரத்துக்கு சிறையில் இருந்தார் இல்லையா? ஆக இவங்களை எல்லாம் நாம நினைத்து பார்க்கும் அது நினைத்து நாம் வேண்டிய ஒரு நாள் இல்லை. இது உயிர் தியாகம் செய்தார்கள். திரும்பி அந்த உயிர் நாட்டுல நாம் இத்தனை பேர் உயிர் தியாகம் செய்தாலும் அதை மீண்டும் இந்த புதிய பாரதத்தை நாம் உருவாக்குவோம். நம்ம என்னைக்கு அது நம்ம பாரத ரொம்ப அது ஒவ்வொரு சுதந்திர தண்ணி வரும் எங்க தந்தைக்கு. ஏன்னா அவர் சொல்லிலேயே கண்ட தண்ணி போராட்டத்துல ஈடுபட்டவங்க. அவர் சொல்ற ஒரு வார்த்தை எங்க ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு, தண்ணீர் விட்டா வளர்த்தோம் இப்பயிரை கண்ணீரால் காத்தோம் சர்வேசா அப்படின்னு அவர் சொல்றாரு. உங்களுக்கு எல்லாத்துக்கும் தெரியும். அது உண்மையாவே கண்ணீரால வளர்த்த இந்த ஒவ்வொரு இளைஞர்களும் காப்பது நமது கடமை. இந்த சின்ன ஒரு இது உங்களுக்கு ஒரு கதை சொல்றேன். Time to speak?
Yes, ma'am. Please go on. It's our pleasure.
No, I don't. இருக்கிற நம்ம குழந்தைகளுக்கு சொல்ல வேண்டிய ஒரு நடந்த ஒரு சம்பவம். கொடியோட பெருமையை பத்தி நம்ம சொல்லி ஆகணும் இல்லையா? எப்படின்னா, இந்த சுதந்திர முன்னால ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு போஸ்ட் மாஸ்டர் அந்த கோபாலோட அம்மா வந்து உடல்நிலை சரியா போனது. அப்ப இந்தியாவுல வந்து ஒரு மேல் போக மாட்டாங்க. ஒரு காலநிலை மேல் டாக்டர் கிட்ட அவங்க போகாதனால வாட் ஹேப்பன், கோபாலோட அம்மா இருக்காங்க. அப்ப கோபால் வந்து அவங்க ஒய்ஃப் இருந்தாங்க. அவங்க வந்து her name was சுஷீலா. அவங்கள வந்து சுஷீலா கிட்ட என்னன்னாங்க, இன்னைக்கு நம்ம சொல்றோம் நம்ம குழந்தை நம்ம பெண்களை வந்து எம்பவர் பண்றோம் அப்படின்னு. ஆனா அன்னைக்கு கோபால் எப்படி எம்பவர் பண்ணிருக்காரு நீங்க பாருங்களேன். அவர் ஹஸ்பண்ட் வாஸ் ஆர்டினரி போஸ்ட் மாஸ்டர். he said, நீ வந்து அமெரிக்காவுக்கு போய், அப்ப அமெரிக்காவில தான் மருத்துவ படிப்பு பெண்களுக்கு இருந்தது. நீ அமெரிக்காவுக்கு சென்று அங்க போய் நீ மருத்துவம் பயின்று இங்க வந்து இந்த பெண்களுக்கெல்லாம் சர்வ் பண்ணணும். எங்க அம்மாவுக்கு நடந்த நிலைமை மத்த எந்த பெண்ணுக்கும் வரக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அவங்க அமெரிக்காவுக்கு அனுப்பி வைக்கிறாங்க. அப்ப அனுப்பிக்கல எவ்வளவு பொருள் செலவாயிருக்கும். அதே மாதிரி எவ்வளவு நாள் ஆகும். இன்னைக்கு மாதிரி 12 மணி நேரத்துல நீங்க போய் அமெரிக்கால லேண்ட் ஆக முடியாது இல்லையா? The mode of transport was only by ship, which took about 3 months to 4 months. So அவங்க அந்த அம்மா வந்து ஒரு தைரியமா அந்த அம்மாவும் போயிருக்காங்க. அவங்க எம்பவர் பண்ணா மட்டும் பத்தாது இல்லையா? That confidence should be in that woman. So that women, that Sushila, she said she went. போய் 6 வருஷம் படிச்சாங்க. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ்ல பாஸ் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. சோ எவ்வளவு மகிழ்ச்சியா இருக்கணும். ஆனா அந்த அம்மா ஒரு கடிதம் எழுதுறாங்க. இது வந்து பிஃபோர் இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ். சோ அவங்க என்னென்ன கடிதம் எழுதுறாங்க அவங்க ஹஸ்பண்டுக்கு, நாளைக்கு கிராஜுவேஷன் டே. கிராஜுவேஷன் டேனா நீங்க இன்னைக்கு டிகிரி வாங்கினவங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் தெரியும் எவ்வளவு ஒரு மகிழ்ச்சியான ஒரு நாள், ஒரு பெரிய அச்சீவ்மெண்ட் இல்லையா? அது அன்னைக்கு வந்து அந்த அம்மா வந்து ஒரு டாக்டர் படிப்பு படிச்சேன்னா அது பயங்கரமான ஒரு அச்சீவ்மெண்ட். அப்போ இன்னைக்கு நான் ஒரு டாக்டர் பட்டத்தை வாங்கிட்டேன். ஆனா நான் வந்து கான்வெகேஷன்ல கலந்துக்க போறது இல்ல. நான் வாங்கினது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ். ஆனாலும் நான் முதல் வரிசையில் உட்கார்ந்து வாங்க வேண்டிய ஒரு பெண். ஆனா நான் போகல. அதற்கு காரணத்தை நான் உங்ககிட்ட சொல்றேன் அப்படின்ட்டு she writes in the letter to her husband. வந்து என்னன்னா, அந்த டிகிரி வாங்க போகையில நீ வந்து உங்க நாட்டோட கொடியை எடுத்துட்டு வாங்க அப்படின்னு அமெரிக்கால இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்துல சொல்லிட்டாங்க. நான் வந்து எந்த கொடியை எடுத்துட்டு போவேன்? என்னை அடிமைப்படுத்தினவரோட கொடியவா நான் எடுத்துட்டு போவேன்? என் நாட்டுக்குன்னு என்னைக்கு ஒரு கொடி இருக்குதோ அன்னைக்குதான் அந்த பெருமையா நான் போய் அதை வாங்குவேன் அப்படின்னு அந்த அம்மா அவ்வளவு வருத்தமா, எவ்வளவு ஒரு கவலையா ஒரு எழுதியிருப்பாங்கன்னு நீங்க நினைச்சு பாருங்க. அந்த சிச்சுவேஷன்ல நம்ம நாடு, தாய் நாட்டிற்கு ஒரு கொடி, தேசிய கொடி இல்ல. அப்ப அந்த தேசிய கொடியோட மகிமைய இன்னைக்கு நம்ம எவ்வளவு நாம அதைய தெரிஞ்சு வச்சிருக்க வேண்டும்ங்கிறது நான் உங்கள் ஒவ்வொருவருக்கும் சொல்ல வேண்டிய ஒரு கடமை. இது வந்து நம்ம ஒவ்வொருவரும் நம்ம குழந்தைகளுக்கு நான் ஆசிரியர்கள்கிட்ட வேண்டிக் கொள்வது என்னன்னா, நம்ம ஆசிரியர்கள் மட்டும் இல்ல, நம்மளோட பேரண்ட்ஸ், தி யங் பேரண்ட்ஸ் அதர், அவங்க என்ன பண்ணணும், நம்ம கையில் இருக்கும் இந்த குழந்தை வந்து ஒரு கல், செதுக்காத ஒரு கல், அதை அழகாக செதுக்கி தேசப்பற்று, நாட்டுப்பற்று, நம்ம அறிவை கொடுக்கிறோம். அறிவுங்கிறது வந்து சும்மா வெறும் அறிவை கொடுத்து அது எப்படி இருக்கும் தெரியுமா? சாக்ரட்டிஸ் மேதை வந்து சொன்னாரு, லைக் எப்படின்னா, இட் இஸ் நாட் லைக் ஃபில்லிங் எம்டி வெசல் வித் ஃபேக்ட்ஸ். அதுதான் நம்ம வந்து வெறும் நம்ம ஃபேக்ட்ஸ் சொல்லி கொடுத்தா அப்படித்தான் இருக்கும். நம்ம நாட்டை பற்றி, நம்ம தேசத்தின் பெருமையை பற்றி, நம்ம பாரம்பரியத்தை பற்றி, நம்மளோட இதெல்லாம் நம்ம தியாகிகள், இந்த நாடு எப்படி சுதந்திரம் பெற்றது, அந்த தியாக செம்மல்களை பற்றி சொன்னோம்னா நம்ம குழந்தைகளுக்கு இன்னைக்கு இந்த பப்ளிக் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டியை டிஸ்ட்ராய் பண்ணுவாங்களா? பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. அதெல்லாம் யார் கையில? இந்த உண்மையான சிற்பிகள் நம்ம பேரண்ட்ஸும் டீச்சர்ஸும் தான். It's a triangle, it's a real golden triangle. When you see a parent is on one side, நம்ம ஆசிரியர்கள் ஒரு பக்கம், அப்பதான் you will get the best in a child. So இதையெல்லாம் நாம அடைய வேண்டும். I'll always say, என்னோட பிடித்தமான ஒரு கோட் என்னன்னா, நம்ம சுவாமி விவேகானந்தர், the soil of India is my highest heaven and the good of India is my highest good. So thank you all of you for giving me this opportunity to interact with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. எத்தனையோ பெருமை தரக்கூடிய விஷயங்களையும் உங்களோட பர்சனல் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸையும் எங்களோட ஷேர் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க. Thank you very much for that. And can I have Ms. Purnima to come online, please?
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram, Sesha Purnima. How are you?
எப்படி இருக்கீங்கம்மா?
Thank you for to get an opportunity to meet all these young, brilliant minds.
It's a blessed day to have you, Sangeeta. அப்படியே energized-ஆ இருக்குமா the entire session, that too on the Independence Day. அம்மா, on behalf of all the students, I have got many questions, but like நான் ஒரு question மட்டும் உங்ககிட்ட கேட்கணும்னு ஆசைப்படுறேன்.
கண்டிப்பா கேளுங்க.
நீங்க சோஷியல் ஒர்க்கராவும் இருக்கீங்க, அகாடமிக்ல எஜுகேஷனிஸ்டாவும் இருக்கீங்க. எப்படி அந்த ரெண்டுமே உங்களால வந்து பேலன்ஸ் பண்ண முடியறதுமா? First, as a being a woman, like how could you able to balance both the things as a philanthropist, social worker-ஆவும் இருக்கீங்க, இங்க சைடு எஜுகேஷனிஸ்ட்லயும் அகாடமிக்லயும் இன்வால்வ் ஆயிருக்கீங்க. சோ எப்படி உங்களால அது ரெண்டுக்குமே பேலன்ஸ் பண்ண முடியறது? லைஃப் இஸ் ஆல் அபவுட் பேலன்ஸ். அது உங்ககிட்ட இருந்து நாங்க கத்துக்கிறோம். இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு இளைஞர்கள் if they wanted to have like this kind of balancing, அதுக்கு நீங்க என்ன அட்வைஸ் பண்றீங்கம்மா?
இப்ப நீங்க கேட்ட ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கேள்விக்கே சோஷியல் ஒர்க், எஜுகேஷன், நம்மளோட லைஃப், அத மூணு நான் பிரிச்சுக்க மாட்டேன். டு பி ட்ரூ, சோஷியல் ஒர்க்ங்கிறது நம்ம சமூக பணிங்கிறது நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா இது பார்ட் அண்ட் பார்சல் ஆஃப் அவர் ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி இல்லைங்களா? நீங்க நினைச்சு பார்த்தா நம்ம மத்தவங்களுக்கு வந்து உதவ வேணும் அப்படிங்கறது வந்து நமக்கு முதல்ல இருந்தே சொல்லி கொடுத்துட்டாங்க இல்லையா? நம்மளோட வாழ்க்கை முறையே அப்படித்தான். எப்படின்னா நீங்க வந்து ஒரு டு ஹெல்ப் அதர்ஸ் அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து இது இயற்கையாவே நம்முள் இருக்கிறது. நம்மளோட நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த பாரத தேசத்துல நிறைய பேர் வந்து நம்ம எத்தனையோ பண்டிகைகளை கொண்டாடுறோம் இல்லையா? அந்த பண்டிகைகளை கொண்டாடுறோட கருத்தே என்னன்னா மற்றவங்களுக்கு கொடுத்து மகிழ்ச்சி அளிக்கிறது. அது முக்கியமா பொங்கலே எடுத்துக்கோங்களேன். பொங்கல்ல நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா நம்மளுக்காக இந்த உழைத்து நமக்கு தினம் நம்ம 3 நேரம் சாப்பிடுற ஒவ்வொன்றுக்கும் கொடுக்கிற அந்த உழவர்கள் அவங்கள தேங்க்ஸ் கிவிங் டே அப்படின்னு சொல்ற மாதிரிதான் நம்ம அவங்கள நன்றியோட அவங்கள நினைக்கிறோம், இயற்கையை நேசிக்கிறோம். நம்மளோட அதே மாதிரி நம்மளுக்கு உழைக்கும் அந்த மாடுகளை நேசிக்கிறோம் இல்லையா? அந்த எருதுகள், காளைகளை எல்லாம் அன்னைக்கு கடவுளா நீங்க பாருங்க ஒவ்வொன்றிலையும் நம்ம கடவுளை காண்கிறோம் இல்லையா? ஏழையின் சிரிப்பில் கடவுளை சொல்றாங்க இல்லையா? விவேகானந்தர், நீங்கெல்லாம் விவேகானந்தர் இன்ஸ்பயர்ட் பீப்புள் இல்லையா? அவர் என்ன சொன்னாரு? நாம் கோயில்ல போய் நீங்க வந்து சாமி கும்பிடுறத தரித்திர நாராயணங்களை இல்லையா, இந்த நாட்டுல இருக்கும் தரித்திர நாராயணங்களை நீங்க வந்து முன்னுக்கு கொண்டு செல்ல வேண்டுங்கிறதா சுவாமி விவேகானந்தர் நமக்கு சொல்லி கொடுத்தார். சோஷியல் ஒர்க் அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து தனியா நீங்க பிரிச்சு பார்க்க கூடாது. என்ன பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் இட் இஸ் பார்ட் ஆஃப் யுவர் லைஃப். நீங்க வந்து நமக்கு வந்து வாடிய பயிரை கண்டால் வாடினோம்னு சொன்ன வள்ளலார் பரம்பரையில நம்ம எல்லாம் வந்தோம் இல்லையா? வள்ளலார் அப்படித்தானே சொன்னார், வாடிய பயிரையே அவனால பார்க்க முடியல. ஒரு வாடிய மனிதன், பசியோட இருக்கும் மனிதனை நம்ம வெரி கொலோக்கியலா சொல்லணும்னா பங்கி தின்னால் பசி யாரும் இல்லையா? ஒருத்தர் பசியோட ஒருத்தர் உட்கார்ந்து இருக்கீல. பொதுவா நம்ம இந்தியர்களே அப்படித்தான். நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஷேர் பண்ணித்தான் சாப்பிடுவாங்க. இது வந்து நான் உங்களுக்கு வெஸ்ட்ல சொல்லுவேன். வெஸ்ட்ல நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா இப்போ ஒரு பக்கம் போனோம்னா நீங்க வந்து 2 ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் போவாங்க. போனாலும் நீ தனியா பில் பே பண்ணுவான், நான் தனியா பில் பே பண்ணுவோம். ஆனா நம்மளோட கல்ச்சரே அப்படி இல்லையா? நம்ம கல்ச்சரே எப்படின்னா யூ ஹேவ் டு நீங்க வந்து எல்லாத்துக்கும் உதவி பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கறத முதல்ல இருந்தே சொல்லி கொடுக்குறோம். அதே மாதிரி காலேஜஸ்ல வந்து நேஷனல் சோஷியல் சர்வீஸ்ங்கிறது வந்து இட்ஸ் a பிக் திங் இல்லையா? இன்னைக்கு வந்து நாம வந்து குழந்தைகளை வந்து we should take them to the give them that social responsibility. அது வந்து இப்ப இட்ஸ் நாட் கம்பல்சரி, ஆனா இட் should be made compulsory to children from a very young age. ஏன்னா நம்ம பேரண்ட்ஸும் டீச்சர்ஸும் இதைத்தான் நம்ம சொல்லி கொடுக்கணும். சோஷியல் ஒர்க் இஸ் நாட் சம்திங் யூ டிசைட் ஒரு டெசிக்னேட்டட் அவர்ல போய் பண்றது இல்லை. இட் should be part of it. அதனால நீங்க வந்து லைஃப்ல வந்து எல்லாத்துக்கும் நேரம் 24 மணி நேரத்துல எல்லாத்துக்கும் நேரம் ஈஸியா ஒதுக்கிக்கலாம் அப்படிதான் நான் நினைக்கிறேன். That's my
Thank you so much. And we have so many questions ma. நான் உங்களோட questions வந்து நான் உங்களோட மெயில் ஐடிக்கு அனுப்பிச்சு விட்டுடுறேன்மா. And of course சங்கீதா மேம் உங்களுக்கும் எனக்கு நிறைய questions வந்திருக்கு. So we will send it across to you. Assign பண்ணிட்டு we will send it across to email. நீங்க அதெல்லாம் சொன்னீங்கன்னா it will be really great. And I also like to thank Sangeeta ma'am for being part of this webinar today and making this a great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Priya, for
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
inviting
Thank
me.
you for giving me this opportunity. I'm very happy
Sure,
to be
Amma.
with all of you.
Sure, Amma. Sure. Thanks, Priya, for
Ma'am,
inviting me.
Vasuki ma'am, I can't tell you words to describe the content that you have given.
Ayo,
I'm
I
truly
should thank
inspired. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
No,
so much, Purnima ma'am.
it
Thank you,
all just
Vasuki
came from
ma'am.
my heart.
Thank you,
That's
Priya
all.
ma'am. Thank you,
What I
everybody.
think I speak.
So we have Dr.
Exactly. Thank you.
Venkatraman. Priya,
Great, ma'am.
ma'am,
Great.
you can invite Venkatraman, ma'am. I'll leave the session. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks, Purnima. Okay. Let me now request Ms. Janani to invite Dr. Venkatraman.
A very happy day to all. I take immense pleasure in welcoming Group Captain Dr. R. Venkatraman, who retired from the Indian Air Force in 2016, is currently serving as a General Manager, Madras Management Association. During his illustrious career spanning 26 years, he held many sensitive and senior appointments before he chose to voluntarily retire and assume the cause of propagating management education. Having actively served during the Kargil conflict, another operation, he has been commended at the highest level of IAF for his achievements. He had also served with Airport Authority of India on deputation as Deputy General Manager ATS. During his research tenure at the Center of Air Power Studies, New Delhi, he published the book India's Higher Defense, Organization and Management in 2011. Besides publishing articles in journals, he had delivered talks on various dimensions of management, civil military relations, aerospace safety, and HR issues with special emphasis on leadership, motivation, communication, and team synergy. A doctorate from University of Madras, also holds an MPhil in HR from Bharatiya University and three postgraduate degrees in business administration, corporate secretaryship, and defense studies. His other interests include dramatics and music. We are immensely happy to welcome you, sir.
Welcome, sir. So we are not able to hear you.
Can you try to remove the headset and try, please?
Yes, sir. You're audible now. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sir, I believe you're on mute, sir. Ranjit, could you please?
Sir, Venkatraman sir, can you remove the headset and try with open laptop and everything? I mean, like without headset.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
you
sir.
are audible.
Audible? Yeah, okay, then okay, then I'll keep this and I'll go ahead with this.
Yes, sir.
So,
Welcome, sir.
so may I start now?
Yes, please, sir.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to the ALBE Academy for inviting me, and particularly Ms. Prashanti, who's taken a lot of initiative in organizing this and calling me up and all that. I've been listening to some of the speakers before me, all of them very accomplished individuals. Dr. Vasuki, she spoke very well from the heart, and she comes with a lot of academic experience and social work. Thanks to you, ma'am, for those wonderful words. We also heard, Raghavi, whom I know earlier also, one of the most inspirational speakers. We also, I think I missed slightly Mr. Whalen, but I guess she also spoke very well. So all of these speakers were there, and I think there is little I can add to this group, except that I feel normally people say odd man out. I think today I'm actually the odd man among this empowered group of ladies who are here in this program. The entire program is organized by ladies, and all the speakers are also ladies. So I think that truly I'm the odd man out today. I don't think I'll be able to add much value than all you have done in the last so many minutes. But let me try. So when Prashanti spoke to me, she specifically told me why I asked her what do you want me to speak on. So she said, "Sir, you are from the armed forces. why don't you talk to us on sacrifice, the spirit of sacrifice? I said, okay, fine. So let me begin by commemorating the spirit of womanhood today. There are so many women here. There is a connection with this Independence Day and the womanhood. Some of you, like Dr. Vasuki, may know, but many youngsters may not know. The Indian national flag actually had a different design. It didn't have this Ashok Chakra initially when it was supposed to be. It was already announced that this is going to be the national flag. So one IAS officer's wife, Miss Adabi, she was a Muslim. She said, "Why don't we have this Ashok Chakra instead of the Charka?" Actually, Mahatma Gandhi advised that we should have a Charka in between. Charka means that spinning wheel. She went and told him this Ashok Chakra will be much more suitable than Charka. She didn't go to him. She actually went to Nehru. So Pandit Nehru told, once Mahatma Gandhi decides something, he will never change. So I will not go and talk to him. If you people have the guts, go and talk to him. So she goes along with a few more ladies and tells him that, sir, our advice is you must have the Ashok Chakra because that is a symbol of, Bharat and all the traditions that we have. And why don't we? He was not very convinced, but he told, okay, you girls go and make one sample and show me. If it looks like nice, then I will approve it. So these people went back to him after a beautiful sample on a kadar, khadi cloth. So he liked that so much, and he told, yes, this will be our national flag. So many of you may not know that the national flag, which was flown on the 15th of August on the midnight, was actually hand woven and presented by a group of 72 women who went and presented it to Pandit Nehru, and that was what was hoisted as our national flag for the first time. So I feel a little funny when people talk about women empowerment and all that today. Our country has always been empowering women. Like Dr. Vasuki mentioned, our history books were not really right. So I think we have always given importance to women. We had more goddesses than gods. We had more functions and festivals which we celebrated for the goddesses. So I see a lot of them today in your group doing a lot of things for this country. So compliments for that. Now let me come to this topic of mine which you people are expecting me to talk on. That is sacrifice. The saffron color in our flag actually signifies courage and sacrifice, two things. So sacrifice was always there in our blood. Sacrifice is not new to our country. We have fought for people whom we don't know. In World War I and World War II, our soldiers, lakhs and lakhs of them, went and fought for those people whom we don't even know. So can't we fight for our own selves? We have sacrificed our lives. Sacrifice is there in our blood. It is there in our flag. Smallest sacrifices in the COVID period, you would have seen how many of these medical specialists, how many of these health workers, they sacrifice their family life. They sacrifice their comforts for treating so many patients. You've seen the policemen. You've seen so many of them during the last 3-4 months, the social workers, who sacrificed so many things and they came forward for the benefit of the society. But when we talk of the armed forces, when we talk of the Army, Navy, Air Force and all that, going beyond these sacrifices, our parents also sacrifice a lot for bringing us up. We sacrifice so many things for our children, for paying their fees, for their comfort. As parents, we sacrifice certain things. But more than all these sacrifices, there are some noble professions like the teachers, like Dr. Vasuki represents one of the noblest professions of the world. There are noble professions like the doctors who sacrifice. They are called noble professions because they sacrifice a lot for the welfare of others. But when it comes to the armed forces, it is called the ultimate sacrifice. Why is it called the ultimate sacrifice? A couple of examples I'll tell you. During the Kargil conflict, when a young captain was there, he went, Kargil is a conflict which was actually fought on a number of hills, number of hilltops were annexed by the Pakistani soldiers. The youngsters here may not know. So our job was to go back and retrieve each of those hills. And it was a very, very difficult task because they were already sitting on the top and we had to go from from the bottom and then go and capture it, it is not so easy as it seems to be. It's very, very difficult. But we did it eventually because of the sacrifice of again hundreds and hundreds of soldiers, their lives, and thousands of them got wounded in that bargain. Now there was a young captain who actually was given the task of capturing one hill from the Pakistanis. He went and he occupied that hill, put the national flag on that. In the bargain, he got wounded, he got fever, came back to the foothills. He was admitted in the camp there, medical camp. அதெல்லாம் டென்ட் தான் மெடிக்கல் கேம்ப்னா ஒரு பெரிய ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் ஒன்றும் இருக்காது, டென்ட்டில் படுப்பாங்க எல்லாம் அவ்வளோதான். So he was there wounded, bandaged all over, and he was lying there unconscious for 2-3 days. Thereafter consciousness came back, and suddenly on the 4th or 5th day or maybe 6th day, he heard somebody, some doctor, somebody around talking about another very important hill that was to be occupied, but we are not able to do it because of a strong resistance from the Pakistani army. So he went and asked some people there, what is this happening? What are they talking about? They told, sir, there is a Mari, நீங்க ஒரு hill capture பண்ணிட்டு வந்திருக்கீங்க. அங்க இன்னொரு hill இருக்கு, Tololing. It's very difficult to capture that. Pakistani guys are fully occupied that. அதனால வந்து we really don't know எப்படி வந்து அது கேப்சர் பண்றதுன்னு தெரியல. So he told, if you give me a chance, let me go back to that hill. So the doctors told him, are you mad? You are bandaged, you are already not even able to walk. How are you going to do that? So he said, no sir, please give me a chance. I want to go and help out those people who are not able, because I already have experience of one hill. Let me go and help them. So after 2 days, he was given the chance to go. He went along with his troops. The moment the people came to know that he is coming, the spirit of the troops went up, because they know when this man comes, there will be victory. Same way, the moment they heard the name, the Pakistanis' morale went down. They thought, oh, this guy is coming again. So this man went, second hill, he captured. Once again, victoriously came back, wounded much more than before. Then there was a story of Captain Vikram Batra, we are all aware. Captain Vikram Batra, there is one Captain Nanjappa from Karnataka. He actually got injured fighting for one hill there, and he was shot, or he was attacked by a grenade. Captain Nanjappa, he was lying there. Captain Nanjappa was worried, if I die, what will happen to my troops? That is when Captain Batra, who was actually away fighting another group of people, came running to him and told him, sir, you don't worry, now I am here, I will take charge, you please go back to the hospital and take care of yourself. So Captain Nanjappa, who can't even walk today, he is actually paralyzed because of that grenade attack. He was taken to the hospital, and Batra went there and fought the Pakistanis. Captain Vikram Batra, when he was fighting, there was a situation where he had to come face to face with the enemy. அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? ஒரு கண்ணு கெட்டுற தூரத்துல enemy is there. இப்ப அவங்களை அடிக்க போனோம்னா only one of them will be alive. ஒன்னு இவர் உயிரோட இருக்கணும், இல்ல அங்க இருக்கிற ஒரு உயிரோட இருக்கணும். எழுந்து போட்டாங்கன்னா that was the distance they both were at. So we have a tradition in the army or armed forces that officers, young officers are there, but அவங்க கீழ ஒர்க் பண்றவங்க they will be more aged, they are more experienced, but because these people are direct recruits ன்றதுனால இவங்க ஏஜ் கம்மியா இருக்கும். பட் கீழ ஒர்க் பண்றவங்க அவங்களுக்கு வந்து எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் அதிகமா இருக்கும், ஆனா ஏஜும் அதிகமா இருக்கும். they will be their second in command. So இவர் அந்த மாதிரி போகும்போது when the Captain Batra was moving ahead, his number 2, who was a very senior person but junior in rank, he told him, sir, please, நீங்க போனீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா எங்க எல்லா ட்ரூப்ஸ்க்குமே அது ஒரு அடி ஆயிடும், அதனால நீங்க பின்னாடி வாங்க, let me go and take that shot, let me go and fight him, I will definitely kill him, but let me go. Captain Batra told him, sir, though I am senior to you, I am telling you, you have a family to look after, you have a daughter who is about to be married, I am not even married, எனக்கு parents தான் இருக்காங்க, doesn't matter. If I go, nothing will happen. If you go, your family will suffer, you go back. That man didn't listen. He said, no sir, you are my boss, I will not let you die, it is my duty to save you, let me die. He told me, it is my order, I am your boss, I am ordering you, you better go back. So Batra went, he fought, he took those bullets, he captured the hill, in the bargain he died. Few days before that, when he was asked, Captain Batra, he also fought some other hill, and this was second or third hill he was fighting for. When he was asked after fighting first hill, after the first victory, sir, how do you feel? He told in Hindi, "Dil mange more." What does it mean? It means my heart is longing for more and more victories. That's what he told. Okay. Finally, he sacrificed his life. There were so many such stories. There was one young captain who wrote to his mother, saying when his mother asked him, "How are you, beta?" So he told him, "I'm fine, mom. Don't worry. When I come back, either I will come back after flying the tricolor on Kargil, or I'll come back wrapped up in a tricolor. But I will come back for sure, and I will come back. When I come back, the tricolor will be proud of me." This is the kind of stories, plenty of them that we have. We only know of Kargil, but even as we are talking today here at this juncture, such things are happening in Kashmir. We just saw what happened in Galwan Valley, China border a few days ago. Tell me those 20 soldiers, that Lieutenant Colonel who was from Hyderabad, Lieutenant Colonel Rao or Reddy, whatever he was, and all those 20 troops who died, what were they fighting for? Is it their home? Is it their land? Is it their property? What should they go and fight for? நம்ம வீட்ல ஒரு 4 திருடங்க வந்தான்னு வச்சுக்க நம்ம என்ன செய்வோம்? There are 4 robbers who come to our house and they show their knife and tell us, "You give us your ornaments, you give us your money, or we will kill you." What we will do? இந்தாப்பா சாவி எடுத்துக்கோ, உனக்கு என்ன வேணுமோ எடுத்துட்டு போயிடு. சொல்லுவோமா இல்லையா? Our own property we don't save because we find our life much more precious than our property, our house, our ornaments. What are these people fighting for? Whose property is that? Why are they laying down their lives? Think about it. It's only a commitment. It is not their home, it is not their property. 1 inch of land, if it goes, somebody from Bangalore or Chennai or Tamil Nadu, how does it matter to them? But that is the uniform that they have worn. It is the commitment that they have given to that uniform, that until I am alive, I will not let the enemy take even 1 inch of my motherland. That is the commitment. So these soldiers value every inch of their motherland more than their own personal property, more than their own personal lives. There are so many times that the soldiers have not been able to come to look after their father, mother, even at their death, because some other duty is there for them to do. So there are so many such sacrifices that the soldiers do. I would be very happy if any of these youngsters in this group today choose to join the armed forces, don the uniform and serve the country. Not to say that that is the only way to serve the country. There are thousands of ways to serve the country, and each one of you have already started doing it by organizing these kind of program and participating in these kind of programs, rather than whiling away your time on some watching some Netflix and doing something else. So you have already made a good beginning, but please follow your heart. Please make a good life for yourselves. Please learn as much as you can. Travel if you want to. Go to any country that you want. Make a name for yourself. Make a name for your family. Make a name for your country. But as Dr. Vasuki said, finally remember that this is your motherland. Whatever you do, wherever you go, remember, anything that you do, you should not be doing anything that will harm the interests of this country. And if possible, after achieving all that you want to achieve in life, name, fame, money, everything, please come back to this country. This is the place where you all belong to, and this is the where you should all be there. So these are my final words of advice to you all. Thanks, and have a wonderful Independence Day, all of you. This is 74th year, and we have a very good leadership, like Dr. Vasuki said. With the support from all of you, I'm sure the country will do well. With youngsters like you taking up the, control in your hands, particularly the women. I'm so happy to see all of you women and girls doing this program today. So I'm sure more and more things are likely to happen. This will be the trigger. This, I'm told, is the first program in the series. So I'm sure all you're going to have a lot of good programs like this. With these words, thank once again the organizers for inviting me to share my perspectives. Let's celebrate this wonderful Independence Day. Thank you once again. Bye.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing the inspirational stories of our true heroes with us. It means a lot, and it is our immense pleasure to have you on this wonderful occasion of Independence Day, sir. Thank you very much once again. And I would like to call upon Ms. Prashanti to deliver the word of thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Priya. It's a wonderful occasion today. It's a very memorable occasion because on this day of independence, we've got such inspirations here. Firstly, thank you, Vasuki ma'am, because you've come all the way from Coimbatore, you've joined online. Thank you, ma'am. Seeking your blessings, ma'am. Next, Sangeeta ma'am, the confidence. உங்களை மாதிரியே இங்க பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கிற யங்ஸ்டர்ஸ் எல்லாருமே சீக்கிரமா PhD வாங்கணும். So thank you so much for joining, ma'am. And next is Raghavi ma'am. No words. Her determination. She says that it's just my body that is disabled, not my soul. So that level of determination, that level of confidence is what all youngsters here should have. So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining. Next is Venkatraman sir. Thank you so much, sir. இன்னைக்கு இங்க உட்காந்து எல்லாமே வெபினார் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம்னா இட்ஸ் ஒன்லி பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் தி நேஷனல் லீடர்ஸ் ஆர் ஃபைட்டிங் இன் த பார்டர்ஸ். So thank you so much for joining. That too on the day of independence. Thank you, sir. And next, Anandi ma'am, who has wonderfully, shared her thoughts on significance of food. It's just food, that makes a complete body. Food is medicine and medicine is food. Unave marande, marande unavu. So thank you so much, Anandi, for joining us. And next, of course, Priya ma'am, thank you so much for, very beautifully you've, moderated the complete session. Thank you so much, ma'am. So we have a couple of announcements for the youngsters and others who are watching this. So if you are a student who's watching this, please mail us at albeacademy@gmail.com and we'll be sending you your certificates. And self-discovery series அப்படின்றதுல இன்னைக்கு first webinar we are done successfully. And in the Mari, month on month, we will be having 2 or 3 webinars with inspiring and eminent personalities. So youngsters who are watching and others who are watching, please do join us. And I'm just posted the social media or all platforms or information I post பண்ணிருக்கேன். So you can please check it out and join us. So once again, thank you so much. We have Vatsalya Tulasidaran who will conclude the session with national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद.
Jai Hind.
A big thank you to one and all for making this session more vibrant on this beautiful occasion of our Independence Day. See you soon. Jai Hind.